All right, welcome back, folks. Whether you're watching live, whether you're watching this on recording, good to have you here. We are going to be picking up with part 2 of our Roman Seafarers game. We played up to turn 100 in the first session, which I did last week as I'm recording this. I I was tempted here. I was about to immediately type in Chipotle, go into debug mode, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, this is an actual game of Civ4. This is not a spectator game for the AIs. So, recap of what we did in the last session. We're mostly focusing on expanding. The biggest thing that we did was we built Great Lighthouse. We kind of tossed down this garbage city here, first in Getrix, just to grab an early fur resource and to help put more forests in range so that we could chop. So we were able to chop out Great Lighthouse very early. I think it was turn 67 roughly. And we've been raking in those sweet, sweet Great Lighthouse trade routes. So the focus at the moment is we're getting ready to connect this iron resource. The borders are going to pop here in 2 turns. And then we're going to mine this iron resource, build some Praetorians, look to grab these barb cities. There's double barb cities over here, and then there's also a barbarian city here. So I'd like to get, 3 or 4 Praetorians. That should be enough. Praetorians, especially against this city in particular, should be pretty easy to capture because it's not on a hill. And like archers, when they don't get the hill bonus, are pretty much dead meat to Praetorians. Navajo here and the one on the other island are a little trickier because they're on hills and archers get that hill defense bonus. So makes it a little bit trickier. But the ones that are not on hills should be pretty easy. So that's what we're going to work on. Thanks for subscribing, Coding Cajun. Appreciate it. And then otherwise, just mostly focus on general development. Odds are we'll probably try to attack Wang Khan at some point in the future, but I don't think that'll happen anytime soon because there's a lot to be gained from just continuing to expand. I definitely want to grab this because I'm low on happiness. Happiness is a real issue. Only have 1 domestic happiness resource. So gems would be +1, and then we picked up forges, so that would be another +1. So that would be helpful. And then this city's building the Colossus as well. So let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? We're actually 3rd wealthiest. Saladin is the least wealthy. Here, what was I doing? So I grabbed this workboats for the new city. I would love to put overflow into... I'd like to put overflow into a Praetorian. How much? Oh, I have like no overflow, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm wondering whether it's better to... I'm wondering, I should have thought about this. I'm wondering if I want to get a missionary or a forge. Forge would certainly be nice. What's the whip pen? Alright, so there's a longish whip duration right now. Probably the next whip is for a forge, so why don't we hold off on other stuff for the time being? Or let's put the overflow into the forge, and then we'll build forge until I can build a Praetorian. I may 2-pop whip the Praetorian as well, we'll see. This city is going to want, I think the next, well, I actually have double whip on happiness right now. I think once again, what I next one here is the Praetorian, but we'll build the missionary for the 1 more turn. Well, no, actually it's going to be a couple turns because we... Oh no, the Colossus was built in a faraway land. Wow, that's an early Colossus. Huh, turn 101 and the Colossus is already built. Huh, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. Well, we don't need to worry about wasting time on this. Yeah, that's a very early Colossus. So I'm really glad I got the Great Lighthouse. I don't know how close it was, but oh well. That's life. You don't get everything you don't get everything that you wanted. So I think we'll probably build in maybe a missionary here because it's going to take we have to wait for the border to expand and then we have to mine it, which will take a couple turns. So maybe we can get the missionary done first. Great Lighthouse was the better of the two to get, I agree. So here I'm going to whip the library, but I think I'll just wait until the whip duration's almost out. It's okay for the city to grow into unhappiness. That's not that big of a deal. So we've got a chop here. So I think we chop this because we're about to get the math bonus. Math bonus will be in time for that chop. All right, so this I need to defend. This archer is heading over here to 2 Fish, 2 Furious. This is going to the. Oh, we've got a barb. Oh no, a barb galley. No, that's not good at all. It's gonna tear up my fishing nets. Well, I have a galley over here en route. Hopefully it'll win the 70% battle. No, my fishing nets. Oh well. So I think... let's see. So we could build a cottage, but I think what we want to do is just get over here. Actually, you know what? We can cancel that. Here's what we can... Wait, this was on here. 1, 2... Alright, never mind. So yeah, I was going to say I can move here, I can erode the tile with these two, and then this can move on and finish chopping, but I actually don't have enough movement for that. Maybe I should have just waited for math to finish. Probably should have waited for math to finish, but oh well. To get the bonus, plus 10. It's okay though. Yeah, so this appears to be a dead end over here. It does not look like this extends further. Well, I guess that gives me another... At least this gives me a fishing boat to replace this when the barbs pillage it. Oh well. So you're done healing. I want you to head up to this spot here, and hopefully Wang Khan will build a city that lets me move into Saladin's territory. Although Saladin won't sign open borders with me right now, so maybe not. Maybe I should just bring this boat back and be... Actually, you know what? Let's cancel that. Let's bring this boat back and then use it to ferry units over to Khoisan later on. Okay, I want to road this tile while you're here. Okay, I know that'll be it for your turn, but we can road that and then we'll be mining that tile next turn. I could whip a galley, that's true. That would be better than losing that fish and having to replace them with work boats. And it's not like a galley is bad on this map. I can always use them for exploration and for ferrying units. It's like I have a galley coming over. Also, it's possible I could lose the battle, so you're right. I should build the galley. It'll mean more whip unhappiness, but whatever. It'll get over it. I can put the overflow into Moai. We can 2-pop whip this next turn, put the overflow into Moai, and then the chop into Moai as well. Okay, yeah, that'll work. That's a good suggestion, thanks for that. Oh, I could get a Tarim instead, that's even better. Yeah, that's even better. 2-pop whip a Tarim. That's a better suggestion. Because the Tarim will have very, very high odds to kill the Barb Galley. Yeah, Tarim is better. Thanks for that. Alright. There we go. So this, and now we want to make sure that overflow goes into Moai, so we'll just slot that in afterwards. And we only got 23 gold. The plus side is we didn't waste a lot of time building the Colossus. The return on it wasn't great because I don't have copper, so I don't get this awesome fail gold as a result of trying and failing to build it. There we go. So now I've got the 10 plus 25% from buildings. Once the whip unhappiness wears off, then we can pick up this tile too for a base 14. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna bring you back. I think that's more useful. Maybe if, because like there's no guarantee Wang Khan's going to settle there anyway. And even if he did, like Saladin does not want to sign open borders with me. which is unfortunate. What's his favorite civic? Is theocracy, I think? Yeah. We would both have to be in theocracy for him to start getting shared civic bonus. They're actually, none of them are running hereditary rule yet. He likes caste system. All right, well, anyway, so now we've got this done. We need a work, and now the workboat can grab that fish, which is what makes this a decent city. There we go. I think I do want to whip this to completion because the overflow will be handy, but I want to do it when the food box is half full. So we'll whip that when the food box is halfway full. All right, so we'll mine this, and we should have it connected next turn. I really hope that there's some kind of resource here at Cassite. Really hope there's a seafood resource here. Navajo with the double spice tiles will be decent. And like similarly, we'll get a city over here. But like this is the spot for a city because it's the only place the fish can be grabbed. Just put a long-term marker here. Although it needs a border expansion, so that's a low priority city. But free city's a free city, so. And in the meantime, this keeps moving along. We can put the terreme on this tile, and the barb galley has to attack it because there's no way to. Actually, that's not true. It could slide through this way, but it probably will attack it. The spice island, yeah, this is the spice island for sure. It's got three spice tile resources on it. I'm just thinking, do I need to whip any of these? So, oh, this city is going to. This will be converted into a Praetorian, but that's fine. I'll let it finish the Praetorian and then whip the Praetorian to completion. It'll be a double whip, and that's perfect. Sea patrol between fishes. I'm pretty sure that that thing will attack me. I think currency is definitely the next. I think currency code of laws is definitely the path we take next. After currency code of laws, I'm seriously thinking of just pushing for optics because caravels are going to be really important on this map, and I want to get circumnavigation if at all possible. Like I'd love to get a couple caravels out exploring, but currency code of laws, we're organized. We get half-quest courthouses. We have a unique unit building for our market. All right, so you just stand here, defend. You should have great odds to win. If it doesn't attack, then I can, like if it moves to here, look at Wang Khan, he's got a workboat in my city, and he just got a profit, so if he doesn't have his shrine already, he should certainly have it afterwards. Alright, look at all the Moai overflow, there we go. Almost have enough to finish Moai. Yeah, we'll take that. And we've also got borders expanding, very nice. So this city, of course, becomes unhappy, but the whip unhappiness will wear off shortly. I do think I'll do this, though. No, that drives it into starvation. Okay, I was going to drop off this tile, but I don't want the city to actually starve. Definitely need to get more happiness. Why is Sojourner Truth a prophet? It's a very good question. I don't know the answer to that either. So this city's just growing to the happiness cap right now. As I said, we're probably going to get a Praetorian out of that city. All right, there we go. So this should be upgraded from warrior to Praetorian in queue next turn, which is again just fine. Not looking to have. Not looking to work this. I guess I should probably replace these tiles with cottages in the near future. So let's convert this over to Praetorian. Let's grab this tile here. And yeah, and then that works, because this city can grab these other tiles. Doesn't need this. Although it's one off, well, that's okay. It's not getting... It's too bad I can't get... I'd really like to get to 12 here, so I get the extra hammer. Doesn't look like that's possible, though. I have to mine this tile, which is the next one I'm going to mine, but let's finish the road while we're here. Yeah, I had some pretty good dice rolls in the last session. By the way, you guys, we need a name for this city that's going to be founded this turn. So, what do we think? Did we have a name queued up for this one with the clams resource? Also, we don't need to whip the city, because now it can just build the granary. Ain't she a woman? Hill clams. Pearls. Okay, Pearls Harbor is good. I like that the most out of the ones that were tossed in here. This is not going to be a very good city, let's be clear. This is just a work seafood tiles city. What's our break-even research rate right now? It's right around 50%. Okay, that's not bad. And we have courthouses and currency on the way, so that will improve. So we should win this. We've got the 50% bonus and the defender's bonus. Okay. Yay! So Wang Khan did use the profit for his shrine. We also got a free spread. Nice. In which city's Nampo? Oh, that's one of his cities. Never mind. I was like, hey, we got a free spread of religion. It's like, no, actually that was one of Wang Khan's cities. It's like, oh, okay. All right. We also do want to continue pushing forward towards these city spots too. This city, I think the next thing to do... is chop this tile for the lighthouse, because the chop will instantly finish the lighthouse. That will get the city to +4 food. This tile's too good, like, not to work. It's too strong of a tile not to work, but we want to get the food surplus up to at least +4 per turn. It'd be nice to farm a tile too. It might be nice to farm this one. Of course, we'd have to spread farming from here. We don't have civil service yet. But at the very least, we should chop this tile. So we want at least one worker there. These workers down here, I think, should cottage this tile. And that way they can also road towards that spot. Alright, so apparently there's no seafood here at Cassite. Apparently this city has no bonus tiles at all. I'm a little surprised a Barb City popped up there. Well, in any case, this workboat can come over here and be used. Alright, so the terrain needs to heal. Maybe this isn't the first spot that we try to capture anyway. No, I don't have agriculture. No agriculture, but we haven't needed it. We don't have any, at the moment, we don't have any agriculture resources. So it's not quite as necessary as you might think. Alright, so this, oh, it upgraded in Q to Spear, not Praetorian. Womp womp, that's sad. I guess that makes sense. But we'll double whip this Praetorian next turn. We can finish the Spear. Spears are not terrible to have. Like, spears you can always have a use for them. Having like one spear guarding your stack is not bad. And look at this, we're only 4 turns away from Moai now. Nice. Good stuff. 1, 2, so 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I'm disappointed that this city, Cassite, has no bonuses at all. I think I'll still take it, because it saves me the cost of a settler. Poverty Pier, yes! Poverty Pier. That's a perfect name for it. Poverty Pier. Anyway, yeah. So 1 Praetorian. I'll get 1 out of this city. Now I'm wondering if that's even the right city to prioritize, though, because this is not, because there's no resources here at all, right? it's not much of a need to focus that spot. Now it looks more like Khoisan would probably be a better city to grab first. It's overseas, it's got a fish. It comes with a worker too. It'll give us, once we pop borders, we'll have ivory as well. So I think this is a more important city to focus now. You could destroy both and it's not worthwhile to destroy both. Navajo is not a bad city. Like, this is a pretty good spot because this is a 3-food tile with a plantation. This is a 2-food tile. This is a 3-food tile here because it's a lake and it'll get +1 food from a lighthouse. This is a decent city and not worth raising. Cassite, it's like if it spares me a settler, I mean, if it's low cost to capture, I might as well. But I think it might be better to go for Khoisan first, honestly. I probably need about 4 Praetorians to capture the city, roughly. It already has a worker, and it's easy to, like, it's just a city that's more valuable, especially with this. But it is a city on a hill, so we're going to need some city raider Praetorians. Part of the issue is I only have barracks in one city. This is the only city that would actually get anything from it. So I'm going to have a missionary coming out of this city here. I don't think Vercingetorix needs the missionary. Well, I wouldn't mind popping the borders there, because then it can work more water tiles. Like, I don't care about the furs, but right now it's kind of stuck at 4 water tiles. I'm just trying to think where would be good. Like, Pearl Harbor doesn't need a border expansion. The Sandlot could use. Maybe I send it to the Sandlot. That city could use it for 2 reasons: the organized religion bonus, and also because like the borders, the organized religion bonus, and I also need a missionary for this city, which is probably the next one to get founded. Well, so Seoul would never grab this tile ever because your borders, well, actually, maybe it could grab that tile. Typically, your borders don't expand overseas. Oh, you know what? No, it won't grab that tile because your borders won't expand on another continent beyond the 21 tile radius. It does not spread slower overseas. I don't think it will grab these tiles. Maybe I'm wrong though. Oh yeah, and you could farm at Navajo. You could also farm this, so that would get it to 4 food per turn, and that's all you really need. Anyway, I'm overthinking this. So I want you to heal, you to hop into this city because it's going to be growing like a weed shortly. And while you're here, you might as well mine this tile. Okay. All right, so we got the missionary, and I want you to just build Praetorians for the moment. Let's see. So if I can mine this tile, or yeah, I need to mine this tile because this city's going to come out of unhappiness shortly, and then it's going to have another tile to work. I can work this tile, and then the city gets 15 base plus 25%. So if I can get, I'm very close to getting 16 production, which would then be increased to 20, and 20 base production would mean Praetorians almost every 2 turns. So yeah, we definitely need a mine on that tile next. This city did the granary. Next up, lighthouse to increase the food surplus. And then I might whip out a settler from this spot for this location here. Maybe, because it doesn't need that much more infrastructure. This should be enough now to pick up. Also reminds me I should look at the espionage points. All right. This looks fine. We're trying to get bar graphs with Saladin. Should have them in a couple turns. You guys have a cottage ready for this turn. It's this city next turn. You are gonna grab this. All right, that Tareem's healing. So I'm gonna have an extra workboat over here, which is not the worst thing. I can send a workboat up to explore the north, although I might use the Tareem for that. And then be ready to grab this fish when the borders pop. Or even if we're going to capture Khoisan, I could also send a workboat all the way around to grab that. We'll see. At the very least, I'll head north, and then I can make a decision down the road. The Tareem's healing right now. The Tareem will... I want to heal it back up to full. Once it's healed up, then I'll move it to the north. This galley was intended to ferry people over to these cities, but now I kind of thought that there was I was kind of thinking that there would be a resource over there, and there wasn't. So this galley is now coming over. Well, I guess it's going to be... How many more turns until this... It's going to take a little longer than I thought to get over here. That's what happens when you're changing your plans halfway through. Got to manage those logistics, which I haven't done quite as good of a job of doing as I would like. The terrain does not heal faster in the city. It's in your culture. It'll heal the same on this tile or on this tile. Civ6 they heal faster in the city than in your culture, but not in Civ4. Alright, so we gotta mine this tile next. I said I was gonna send this over to the sandlot. Seems like the most useful place. Also because the sandlot's getting ready for another whip of something. Probably the forge, because I think it can just finish the library naturally. Probably a whip of the forge, and we want organized religion for that. Alright, this city should be just about ready to whip its library. Yeah, we'll whip it this turn, because see how it's one turn away from growing? We're going to get a lot of overflow. I might put this overflow into the Praetorian, because we're going to get quite a bit of overflow on this. This city does need religion as well, though. I need to pop the borders. Alright, but anyway, we'll see. But I think I might put this into a Praetorian. We'll see. It doesn't really have much production, so it's kind of just whips for production. Elsewhere, this city's just growing. Again, we really need more happiness quite badly. Let's see how much overflow we picked up. Quite a bit, actually. Would like to mine this tile too, just so I have something for production. Just not a good city to get a Praetorian out of, unfortunately, because there's no production right now. I guess we could try to use a worker, but... But I can capture a worker at Poisson, so the need is not that high over there at the moment. I moved this boat over here, and now I'm wishing I had just kept the boat right here. Oh well. The city's whip duration should finish shortly. So now what do I want to do with this boat? I guess keep this boat in the area just for when I do want to ferry units over and attack. So again, I know that a lot of you guys love the bug mod. I don't. I know nothing against those of you who like it, but it's really not something that interests me. So yeah, not so much. But thanks for the suggestion. It's not something that appeals to me. Alright, I'm trying to think how I want to set up the production here. No, barracks are worth it. I was just trying to get units out quickly. Barracks, you definitely want barracks for... you definitely do want barracks on any city that's going to produce units. I'm actually going to have enough overflow to finish the spear. The spear can finish off a crippled archer, though, so it's not that bad. Not better to take city in the north. Well, we do want this spot. It's just that, you know, you want to settle... I kind of have to grab this city first before I go to this spot. Like, working my way up there. I guess I don't technically have to, but it makes a lot more sense to keep pushing in that direction. I can see Korea can move onto this tile because it's in their borders, but I can't. I have to go the longer way around. Longer, slower way around, unfortunately. Still, we're going to have 3 Praetorians, and I just need to get them over there now. Like, if they load up on this tile, 1, 2, drop off. Yeah, they can get over there pretty quickly. I wish that I had seen that I was going to take that city first. Also, I wish I didn't have to walk all the way up and around here. It's a little tedious. So this city just grew. And we want to work that cottage. This city, I was wondering if I want to work the engineer or not. I think I do, just for the extra production. I think so. This city's kind of finished all its infrastructure for the moment, at least up until currency finishes. How's the capital doing on its whip? It's almost whip duration's almost worn out. So this city is going to have a missionary, and it will probably go for this city right here, because we'll need a missionary to pop borders, or else the city's not going to be very useful. So trying to like both expand and also try to move on these barb cities at the same time. I don't know why you woke up. Alright, so now we can grab that. Is that the first clam? No, I have a lot of clams. I was like, is that the first one I picked up? No. No, it isn't. Hey, we finished Moai statues. Nice. That is nice to see. And we also need that lighthouse pretty badly. And we need these whip durations to wear off. So this will be a very good city. It's going to be this will be a good military city. Just a good city in general, but it'll be a good producer for like it'll have a lot of production. Has more than enough food to work both of these hill tiles while also working the cottage tiles. It mostly just needs more happiness because it's low on happiness. Also, I need to stop whipping it like crazy. But we needed to, there we go. Lighthouse in 3. Base production of 9. 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we can get up to 12 pretty easily there. All right. So Praetorian here. Oh, you know what I can do? I can have the... I should have spotted this earlier. I can have this unit stand in Clam Nation to provide happiness. So that it's not under the unhappiness penalty. Yeah, you might as well finish this spear. I mean, why not? 7 turns. Alright, so you rode up there. I don't know why it pulled me away from the other worker on the same tile. As we're roading towards this spot on the hill for our next settler, which I think is going to come out of here, as I mentioned. Just needs enough population. Well, actually Plainsview has the population for a settler. Yeah, Plainsview probably needs to do a settler just because this city does not have enough population for one. We also need a defender in that city too. Heroic Epic could be good there. It could be good in this city too. This city I think has more production potential, but maybe. We'll have to think about it. Alright, so you I said I was going to send north. This galley probably should stay in the area, because I will want to ferry units over to this spot eventually. So why don't you hang out here? The Tereme is more what I would send out exploring, because the Tereme is not needed to ferry units. Alright, so now Sandlot will start expanding borders. Also gives +1 happiness and the organized religion benefit. Both very nice. Or maybe I get the settler out of Sandlot and Plainsview supplies the missionary, maybe? We'll see how much overflow we get from this. Alright, so Suez finished the Praetorian. Now, what do I want to get out of it? It's about to be able to whip something. The Forge is probably the best whip to do here. Although I could also just whip the galley sooner. Could get another galley out of here. Trying to think if that would be worthwhile, just so these units don't get stuck. So how many... Oh, never mind. The whip's going to wear out next turn anyway. Oh, well. Could be a useful Globe Theater drafting camp, too. That's true. I'm just trying to think what I want next out of the capital here. So we're going to finish currency. How many Praetorians am I going to have? 1, 2, 3... 3 is probably not quite enough. I'd feel a lot safer with 4. Because they're not going to be... they're not going to have promotions for the most part. Only the one coming out of Clam Nation is going to have any promotions. How many turns until this boat's back over here? longer than I want. Should have kept one boat over here for... oh well. Welcome those of you who are just getting here. Sorry if I'm playing more slowly than I should. I'm just trying to think my way through what I want. I think I actually want another Praetorian. I think I want another unit out of here. If these were swords, it would be a little tricky to capture this. But I think I want another Praetorian here. Or no, I'll change my mind. I'll get another galley because it'll speed up ferrying units over there, and then it gives me another unit to explore. I'd love to send a galley off to the north, just exploring. Keep one for ferrying units here, one for ferrying units here, and then one can just head out exploring. Anyway, so here's currency, a big tech for us.
Everything is worth what its purchaser will pay for.
Now we've got the forums, which actually are +1 happiness with furs. And in addition to that, we get all the passive trade routes. So this is another reason why we want overseas cities. Get those overseas trade routes. Upgrade all of these from 1 commerce trade routes to 2 commerce trade routes. It's a big increase. So we've got a lot of overflow here. The question is just, what do we want? Maybe another missionary. I really do want to get my religion in all these cities. Well, it's really Wang Khan's religion, but yeah, that seems like that seems pretty good. Because I can use one on Pearl's Harbor and one on this city here. Okay, so I do want to have a double whip available for this galley, which means I need to swap off of it, or I could just whip it this turn. We have one turn of... we'll wait until next turn. Let this go into the forge, double whip the galley next turn. Because I don't have the forge here yet, so the whip is 30. Yeah, that works, that works. And then these units can be ready to load up. Yeah, and then it's also one turn away from growing, which is a good time to whip. So yeah, first up, Khoisan seems like it's the best option to hit first, as far as attacking. Just because of the extra, the fish, the extra happiness, really want to grab this. Alright, so this city I want to do a settler. I will swap to the settler next turn, and be ready to whip that. Because I only need... With Imperialistic, the whips are 45 production each, so yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Just working through the math in my head. Alright, so this city's got the... Alright, so next up I'm going to toss a cottage down on this tile. So let's do that, because that I think we're planning on farming later, and I can't do farms right now. This city's got a decent setup of tiles right now. I'm going to need more workers for this jungle region too, but for right now, I think I'm okay. So yeah, you start roading towards that spot. And like I said, you may end up going on an extremely long voyage, because this one came out of Suez. I think it may end up being used on that tile right there. Anyway, I don't need a road on this tile. Alright, you're about to finish the lighthouse. Good. Then you're just going to need more happiness. Although you're about to get... one whip on happiness penalty is about to wear off. I think we get a library here so we can run specialists. Excuse me. Or a forum might be even better, because a forum would be +1 happiness from the furs. Forum might... Well, I think we need the forge first, because it increases the power of every future whip. So yeah, we probably need that first. I was thinking, do I want to cottage this tile? Is there any other city that can work this? Because, like, Two Fish, Two Furious probably wants to work one of these Moai tiles over this tile, honestly. But I'm just trying to think what I could actually do with this tile. Like, aside from cottaging it, I don't really know what else I could do. The forum is a market replacement, yes. That's correct. Alright, so this city's going to be unhappy, but that's fine. It can just grow into unhappiness and probably triple whip the forum. Probably. Like, it's already working an engineer for a little bit of extra production. Yeah, that's fine. Either that, or if I really want to be aggressive, I could get a settler out of Sandlot and a settler out of that city. Found both cities up here. That might not be bad, because it is going to take 10 turns for the borders to pop. That might not be the worst thing. Just go double settlers. Put the overflow, and then I have 2 missionaries for these 2 cities. Actually kind of like that idea. Then I'll have to get more workers out afterwards, because it's a lot of worker labor for this region, but... Alright, yeah, I kind of like that. I think I'll go with that. But in the meantime, I can accelerate Pearl Harbor's development by chopping this tile and cottaging it. And then you basically chop this and then 1-pop whip the granary, and then that gets it off to a good start. City spamming does tend to work well. So now that we have currency, our we're break even at 50%. And we've got cheap organized courthouses coming in too in the near future. So yeah, we'll start ferrying some of these Praetorians over. Where's my other... Oh, in here. Now, they don't have promotions, which is a big deal. Like, if they all had City Raider 2, then, like, those archers would be so dead. But, oh, nice. The 2-turn Praetorians. Very nice. So we're almost certainly going to get a Great Merchant. I'm planning on using the Great Merchant for a civil service light bulb. I think that's the best thing I can do with it. Alright, so for right now, how about you work this tile? And then we'll probably overflow into the forge afterwards. So that allows me to take this tile back here. Because I need 1... Oh, never mind. I can finish this mine. Let's see what we can do here. So we're at 12 base. And then this city can grow and grab this tile for 16 base. Perfect. Perfect. This will be a nice production city. This does mean that the capital doesn't have as much production. But, that's life. I'd love to get a little more production here. But, So we actually have promotions here. I'll probably use this for a City Raider. And then we'll follow it up with some more Praetorians, so we can dump 2 and 2. I think 4 is enough to take this city, unless we get bad dice luck. I guess we'll find out what happens, though. Alright, you should be working the water tiles, and you are. Alright, missionary there. So, let's see, yeah, so you're unhappy. I'm not surprised. I'm just thinking, do I want to start a settler this turn, or... I think it go for another turn or 2. I want to no, because I want to 2-pop whip this with a lot of overflow. So I have the forge. So right now... Yeah, so we let this run for a couple turns. Or no. No. Change that up. Change when it's 1 turn before the whip unhappiness wears out. Alright, so you should be going into Pearl's Harbor. Hopefully this workboat won't run right into another enemy. You just chill there for this turn. Right. 2 Fish, 2 Furious is growing like a weed, as you'd expect. It's going to get +3 food here. Unfortunately, we just really need more happiness. That's the biggest thing we need. But help's on the way. Gems and ivory. With the ivory, the market, or forum for us, is +2 happiness, because both furs and ivory get the plus from the market. Yeah, so Clam Nation we're not really going to whip anymore, because Clam Nation is just going to be a production city. And it can sit here working this. It can sit at size 8 with 18 base production. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yeah, it can sit here at 18 base production. And then with the forge, that's plus 25%, so that's 22. That's 2-turn Praetorians, or 1.5 turn archer, or almost 1-turn archers. So we'll be able to get, I'll squeeze out some archers here and there too, just so cities have defenders, because like there's still some cities that have no defenders, but yeah, we'll get some Praetorians going. All right. No, you do that. We still have some unhealthiness here. So overflow into the forge. Now's a good time to finish the forge, I think. Oh, look at those trade routes. We need to get a market in here. Finish forge, whip market. Yeah, finish forge, whip market. That's the way to go. The weed stuff that we used to put in the write-ups. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we need forge first because it boosts all future whips. Forge plus organized religion is such a nice combination. Instead of your whips being 30 production, they're 45. It's just really helps. And then we can start getting out some courthouses so that we can fix these maintenance costs, because we are starting to get sizable maintenance costs. It is immortal difficulty and all that. All right, so the Sandlot, I was remiss. I should have swapped it over to Settler last turn. It was a turn slow in doing that, but whatever. We should be able to whip this for 2-pop next turn. Although I could whip it for 3-pop. Hold on. Hold on. I think I can do this for a 3-pop whip, which would give us massive overflow. So let me just talk a little bit about the math of how this works. So normally a whip is 30 production, right? Normally a whip's 30 production. I'm imperialistic, so I get plus 50% on settler, so 50% bonus on a whip. So I get 45 production per population point on a settler. So right now the city will get 10 production into the settler, 4 food, 6 hammers, and it will be at 10 out of 100. That will be a 2-pop whip. 45, 45, 10, 100. But if I do this, I will get 9 production into the settler. It will be at 9 out of 100 next turn. I can whip for 3-pop, which is good because I have lots of food but low production here. I can 3-pop whip this, and I will get basically the maximum overflow possible. I'll get about 30 or so overflow. That'll let me finish the library, and then I can overflow into the forge, and that's just a better setup because the city has plenty of food. It's lacking in production, so that's a better whip. Some of you have played a ton of Civ4, and this is like old hat, like you're very familiar with this, but I'm trying to explain for maybe people who aren't as familiar. So that should work. Yeah. All right, so we got another galley here. So I think we move it to this tile, because otherwise this unit can't load, and that's the unit that actually has a promotion. Alright, so load them up. But like, I wish the galley was on this tile, because then the galley could go 1, 2 and unload. Whereas from here, it's 1, 2, and we need another turn of transit time, but we'll get 2 on this first trip. Alright, so this worker's done. I don't think we have any more tiles to improve in this area. Like, I don't think I need to road this tile. I don't think it's important to have a road connection here. So I could do 2 things. I can come down here and look to improve some of these furs, which I don't think is a very high priority because I have no one to trade them to. Like, these guys won't really trade with me. He won't. Oh, I'm his worst enemy. Ooh. Saladin, worst enemy. Okay, buddy. Well, if you insist. So I don't think that that's a high priority. Instead, I think I'll bring... I'm wondering if I want to chop these at the capital. Now that we have math and we have organized religion, it's not a bad time to chop them. It's that or save them for lumber mills later, but I don't really think lumber milling them is that valuable, honestly. We can use other cities that have high production. Probably better to... Now's not a bad time to chop, because I can use chops to get forge and market and courthouse, which are all useful buildings. Market in particular is really good here, because look, all my trade route income from Wang Khan is coming here. So this city has by far the most commerce, so getting a market here is nice. Like for the turns we're not running science. think we want one more turn of 0%. That way we have some money in the bank in case an emergency pops up. Did that unit just stop moving for a couple turns? I'm not sure. Alright, so the Tareem's done healing. Let's send the Tareem out exploring. I want the Tareem to head up to the north and try to see what's on these islands. And we're getting ready for the double settler whips here. So next turn I swap at Plainsview. I've got one missionary coming out of this city, and then we'll get another missionary out of Plainsview. The overflow from the settler, you know, if I triple whip the settler, the overflow should finish the missionary, and then that gets me double missionaries so that the borders will expand at both cities. This workboat maybe just stays here and is used to pop the borders, but we can explore a little bit in the meantime. Like, I'm curious what's around this little area. So the AIs are bad at water. I still wouldn't say that this is a guaranteed win, though. Not because it is still a high difficulty. And even though they're not great at water maps, like, they still can, like, they're not totally useless. So we want to get the forge again to boost future. Oh, actually, no. You know what? We'll put it on forge for now, but I'm going to 2-pop whip a worker. I'm going to let it grow and then 2-pop whip a worker afterwards. I think that that's actually better. All right, so you whip that settler. It is a 3-pop whip, as expected. So we'll have 150 out of 100. We'll lose half of that. So that production will get cut. We lose the imperialistic bonus afterwards. That should still be like 35, 36 production overflow afterwards. Okay. So there's no reason for you to waste a turn rotating that tile. 1, 2. Actually, there's no reason for this guy to waste a turn rotating that tile either, because the settler will... Like, we don't save a turn by rotating that. Oh, well. Too late now. So instead, we'll work on chopping stuff. Alright, so Pearl Harbor, as soon as this chop finishes, we'll be able to whip that granary. And it's worthwhile to do the whip because it'll speed things up. So you should work this tile for right now. Worthwhile to whip that granary next turn. Turn on science while I'm thinking about it. So we can't move any of those tiles. We are in Julius Caesar's birth year, traditionally seen as 100 BC. That's true. Alright, this city is just waiting for its next whip. Needs to get religion in there. I'm a little disappointed that Wang Khan's religion, which has its holy city right here, has never spread in this city, but that's life. Oh, hey, there's a worker right there. Oh. If we'd been on this tile, we probably could have captured that worker. Oh well. So there's 4 archers in there, same as before. So I've got 2 more Praetorians. Why am I building another Praetorian? Oh wait, since that city... Alright, I actually need that for happiness. Stay in there. Maybe we need to get another unit in here for happiness. Yeah, we do. Okay, so let's build an archer. Let's 1-turn an archer then to keep the city happy. Yeah, we can 1-turn an archer there for happiness. Alright, you are going to spread religion in this city as soon as it's founded. You're heading out on barbarian busting duty. And you're going to chop this for me. Alright, I think this... So, let's see. Alright, so we make the swap this turn. Oh, look at this! 9 production into the settler. Perfect! Perfect. Works for me. You are going to be growing into unhappiness, and I can't stop that. You have too much food. Well, that's okay. We'll get you some more unhappiness down the road. So you might say, why work this tile? The computer is actually right to pick this tile because, look, it puts me at 12 production, and then that rounds up to 15. So if I work this tile, it stays at 13. And I value getting that. I value the 2 production over the 2 commerce in this situation. Need to return the fishing boat. That's true, but remember, it takes 10 turns for borders to expand. So it'll take... I've got a little time there. It'll be founded this turn, and then I have 10 turns to get back there. So, like, that's only 3 turns worth of movement. But you're right, it can't go too far. And that means we're going to need a workboat out of this city for Khoisan. So maybe we squeeze that out. Finish the forge first. Maybe we use the chop from the workboat on that. Like, why not? Or like, actually, Clam Nation can... Well, no, Clam Nation has a barrack, so I want it to stay on military. First in Getterix has almost finished this random spear. I'm still surprised it hasn't gotten a religious spread either. I would have liked to have seen that pop up. Alright, so that... Now we can go back to Praetorian. I'm expecting a Praetorian or two to die, which is why I'm building more of them. Like, I'm expecting some of these units to not survive in their attacks. Oh, hey, the worker decided to stay there. Cool. Okay, well, thanks for that, buddy. I love the workers. They just raise their hands. Like, okay. You got us, bud. Okay. So again, I'd prefer to load from this tile, if I can. Although this guy... Actually, I don't think it matters. Well, let's see. No, this guy can't load from this tile, unfortunately, so it's going to have to be loading from this... Boat will have to be on this tile again. Although we do have another boat coming over here to help out. By the way, how's this affecting the demos? So we do have Saladin's demographics now, so let's take a quick look. Saladin's been closing the score gap with Wang Khan. GNP, it looks like I've consistently been ahead of them when I'm running science. Obviously, I vacillate back and forth depending on when I'm running science or not. I've taken over the lead in manufacturing as a result of, I think, building Moai and also converting my second city, whose name is escaping me right now, Clam Nation. It's ever since I swapped that over to production, I've taken over the production lead. Food, I've been running away with the game the whole time. And note that with power now, I'm starting to get there as well. Let's see. So we should probably keep running our espionage on Saladin for right now. There's still 2 AIs out there, by the way, we haven't met. Might not be able to meet them until... I might as well cancel this order. It's literally a wasted... Like, it's literally wasted because the settler can just move right here. By the way, feel free to be thinking about name suggestions for these cities. So we're gonna want to get the granary first. I think I'll just... no, I can't chop here because it's outside the borders of the city. Well, I guess you'll start roading towards the... I guess you start roading towards the next city spot then. You might as well chill here. You're gonna chop. It'll say the Sandlot, but it won't end up actually going there. You can just hang out here for next turn. Alright, now Pearl's Harbor can whip its granary. And we might as well get a cottage down there. I've revealed another tile up here. This may be a map that we can't get circumnavigation until optics, and I think that's our next target. I don't think the top of the tree is that... Well, we need to pick up calendar. That's true. We need to go for calendar because we're going to have the gems, or the bananas, and then this shouldn't be too far off in the future. So we are going to need that. But aside from calendar, I think I really would like to push for optics. I also need to clear Alphabet too. If I clear Alphabet, I can light bulb civil service. That's the tech I need to clear. Because we're about to get a great merchant out of this city in 4 turns. So we'll probably pick up Alphabet and Calendar and then look to push for Optics. We need Compass Machinery and Machinery as prereqs. Optics itself is not that expensive of a tech, but caravels would be super nice, especially if they can lock down circumnavigation. And I would like to find out who else is on this map. Circumnavigation would be a really, really big bonus.
The rule of righteousness in the land, so that the strong should not harm the weak.
So courthouses, our cheap courthouses will be really nice to have. Construction we'll need it if we choose to attack Wang Khan, because we'll need to bring down his borders, his city defenses. But I think more realistically, we're looking at. I don't think we're looking at hitting him just yet, because there's still a lot of room to expand. I do want to take him over eventually, though, because he already has the shrine for the religion I'm running. But calendar next, as I said. All right, so that overflow was enough to finish the library, and now we'll go on to the forge. How cheap the courthouse is. Forge is first if you can manage them economically, because they make your future whips cheaper. So you want to get them first if you can. And then we'll try to slip in some courthouses here and there too. All right, so coastal city. We need the lighthouse next, because that's the only source of food. So what were our suggestions? We have Gemjol for this northern one, which is pretty good. I didn't see a lot for this particular spot. Oh yeah, the pyramids are still out there, aren't they? Did nobody take the pyramids? I totally forgot that they were... Oh no, never mind, they've been taken. Hanging Gardens is available though. That could be worth grabbing. Panama? I don't like that name that much. What was the other one? Swine? Gemjol's a better name. Haven't really gotten one I like that much. Monty Banana? I think I'll go with that. So this city will be quite nice eventually down the road, but it's not going to be too strong in the immediate future. Needs that border pop. Hanging Gardens wouldn't be bad, it's true. So how many turns do I have to get back here? Looks like that's 4 turns. Okay, so that's enough at least to see what's here. And that island apparently has very little of value on it. So that means that this terrene should go in this direction. And now the workboat will cycle back over here. Gonna need a workboat for this spot too. I'm sure we can find a place to get one out. Find a city. We do need to get this settler out though. Wait, did I forget to... Oh, okay. We gotta reload back a turn. That's my bad. I forgot to whip that last turn. And that's important enough that I will reload to fix it and do all the other stuff the same. Alright. So we just replay the turn. Get to capture that worker again. There. Chop. Move up. At least we know that the name is Monty Banana. You were cottaging. You moved there last turn. Alright, and the one thing I forgot to do to whip this city... Wait, what? Wait, how... Oh, it had... Never mind. It has a forge. That was all for nothing. It has a forge, so I can't get a 3-pop whip. Oh well. It has a, it's like, wait, oh no, it has a forge, so it's still a 2-pop whip. Ah, well. No, Hanging Gardens is not already done. Hanging Gardens is somewhat lower prioritization. Because, like, what I need is happiness. More population that just is unhappy is not that great. If it's still there when I actually have some happiness stuff connected, then we'll see. Actually, let's try to... Can I finish that forge? How much more production do I need? 14? What if I do this? Is this enough? No. That's not worth working really bad tiles. That's alright. And then this city's going to get a workboat for that spot. Alright, so my reload did not actually end up mattering. I guess it does get the settler out a turn faster, but... oh well.
bring about the rule of righteousness
All right.
in the land, so that the strong should not harm the weak.
So we said calendar, because we're gonna have resources up there in the jungles that we need. All right, we're gonna overflow into forge. We don't have as much of a need for construction on this map because don't have a lot of rivers to cross over. All right, so you're done there. This city doesn't need any more infrastructure improvement at the moment. I'm gonna have you come over here and help in the jungles. So let's just have you move there, drop a turn into roading, cancel. You're roading towards that next city spot. Oh, hey, look, we got another city over here. All right, so this will finish the forge with quite a bit of overflow. No, we do want to finish the forge first, so we get the forge bonus on the overflow. Then we probably put the overflow into the courthouse, and then, oh no, maybe we just build the workboat. Actually, we probably do the workboat. All right, so let's refound this city, Monte Banana. Was it banana or bananas, plural? Banana, single. Okay. All right, so get these guys loaded up. So let's see what kind of odds we're looking at, by the way. So 66% unpromoted. City Raider takes that up to 72. I want all 4 units available to attack, just so that... So odds are I should lose 1 or 2 of them, and then the winners should promote. This worker can pre-chop a forest, though, while we're standing here. Might as well do something. And, oh, this city expanded borders because it had a library. I was like, how did this city expand borders? There's no religion in there. It's like, oh, you've got a library? Okay, so we'll finish the forge, whip the forge next, and then overflow into one of these two. All right, spread religion. No, we still haven't gotten around to researching agriculture. We will. Probably, maybe we should just do that this turn, because we are going to need agriculture. Like, have we gotten around to researching agriculture yet? Because I am going to need to be able to build farms. Is kind of necessary to be able to build a farm. Worker can be attacked from city. I guess technically it could, but these AI units should all have city defense mission. Also, if an archer wants to run outside the city and not defend it, I'm okay with that. The AI will not delete a worker if they capture it. They'll just keep it around, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, Vercingetorix's spear can also free up a unit somewhere for military police. Although I might keep it with the Praetorians. I don't know. I'll find a use for that spear. But I don't expect it to attack. Alright, so now let's get the workboat, because we should have that city captured soonish. And then... Boy, wow. Oh, we're really unhealthy here, aren't we? Maybe we need to do aqueduct hanging gardens here, because we're so unhealthy. How long would it take to build hanging? Yeah, maybe we get the hanging gardens in here, because I could actually use that health benefit. We'll see. It's not an expensive wonder with the stone. All right, so you, Vercingetorix. What's your whip counter looking like? Why don't you get me another? What do I want you to produce? Maybe just a courthouse because it's very cheap, and you do have some decent maintenance costs. And we'll whip that in a couple turns. Alright, so you just need to come back here to this tile. Again, I wish that I wasn't having these like this very inefficient path to drop off units. Oh, I have another galley now. That's right. That's right. Now I have 2 galleys. So I can load up this Praetorian next turn. And this spear next turn, too. Oh wait, no, that's crossing the river. I can't load up the spear, but I can get the Praetorian. I should have moved the spear onto this tile. And then I could have loaded it next turn. Let's see. Too bad I don't have construction. Alright, anyway. It's fine. Alright, so you should be able to chop that into Monte Banana. And meanwhile, now I've got a road on that tile. Yeah, poor Monte Banana is a very, very weak city until borders expand, and then it becomes a decent city. Alright, so those guys are going to need to chop and road over there. I'm wondering if I should keep roading here. No, let's just bite the bullet and move here. And then that way we can get up there doing more important tasks next turn. Oh wait, that's ocean over there. Oh wait, this is all ocean. No, I moved the terrain the wrong way. It can't get through any of these tiles. It needed to go up this way. And then, okay, well, I'll have to turn it around and move back. That was not the right way to move. Oh, I can load the spear. Okay, I thought that I was crossing over a river, but apparently I'm not. Alright, yeah, you should drop a cottage while you're there, and then you can chop that tile. Poor Two Fish, Too Furious. Just growing into unhappiness, but that's okay. Might need to get a barracks soon over here, and use it for some unit building. Alright, so we drop off those 2 Praetorians next turn, and then we should be able to attack after that. Already got the workboat coming out. And then we'll have another Praetorian, a turn behind. So I think 5 Praetorians is enough to capture that city, I think. Alright, workboat. So the question is, do we want to make a play for Hanging Gardens or not? I don't think it's the worst call. We can funnel a chop into it. Like I can... because it's not that expensive, right? It's only 13 turns. The question is that worthwhile to do as compared to something else? Like, the real question is, how valuable is Hanging Gardens? Probably pretty good, just for the health benefit. Here on a map like this, that health benefit will be good for the whole game. Yeah, that's probably worth going for. Yeah, the health is terrible. Because we can whip the aqueduct to completion. Actually, we'll build the courthouse, then whip the aqueduct, and whip the aqueduct and overflow into Hanging Gardens, putting this chop into Hanging Gardens too. That works. And we'll add a little extra production here with the engineer. Because otherwise we're just going to grow beyond the happy limit yet again. Although that's fine. It doesn't matter if we grow into unhappiness. Alright, so that gives us a good number of Praetorians, but we're probably going to lose a Praetorian here, so let's get it out another one. Because we'll probably lose at least 1 Praetorian here. But then I do want to pause at some point to toss out some more economic builds, because there's some backlog of useful buildings. Like the courthouse is super cheap, the library is helpful, the forum is helpful too, especially because we've already got a wonder in here. Alright, so you get in there, you get in there. You should just about be ready to whip this. Yeah, that's fine. We'll 3-pop whip that forge this turn. have 2 of these guys work on a cottage, so there's at least 1 tile that this can run on. You can road this. You're coming over here for this. Okay, I'm going to load you up and have you mine this hill tile for that other city. Alright, Tareem's got to turn around and walk back. We'll grab agriculture here. En route to calendar. We do need calendar, otherwise we can't improve the bananas. Where's our other missionary? Don't we have 2 missionaries? Oh, here it is. It's overflowing from this city. I was like, where's the other missionary? Because that city needs it. Also, the city should probably be running specialists. Like, we might as well run these rather than just have the city continue growing endlessly into unhappiness and unhealthiness. Yeah, so Hanging Gardens does seem like it's worthwhile having the stone. Alright, so we've got 4 Praetorians. We have a 5th that can attack from the boat if needed.
O farmers, pray that your summers
2 of them with City Raider.
Winters clear.
Alright, calendar next. So there's our other missionary. Okay. I think I'm going to go for the courthouse because it's just so cheap to build. Although to a certain extent it doesn't matter that much, but I think it's better than to pick up the than to get the forum, which would be the other option. I think it's better to pick that up given our situation here. Same thing over here. Like, it's a harder question as far as which is better, courthouse versus... Now, you know what, I'll play the part of caution once again. And land these units before looking to attack. We can attack next turn. With 6 units, we should be pretty safe. And I think what I'm going to want is, I think I'm going to want these units here to ferry these units back to the mainland again. You know what else we need? We need a missionary for this city, for Khoisan, and for Vicino de Mare as well. So Clam Nation maybe, because we definitely want borders to expand. Although, you know what? I can probably whip the library here. Library should only be a 2-pop whip. That would pop borders. We need workers in the area. Maybe the city's next whip is a worker and not a infrastructure building. I'm just trying to think if I want to ferry any other units over from here, and I don't think I do. I think this is probably better spent right here for now. Alright, so we do have our missionary. So right now, this merchant techs alphabet, but if we clear alphabet, then it should light bulb civil service. So I think we're going to grab calendar alphabet and then light bulb civil service. I don't think a golden age is that helpful right now. I don't think that a super specialist would be worthwhile. So why don't you just fall asleep in there for the time being. Oh, I do have another Praetorian here. Well, this Praetorian can start walking over here to the east, because we're going to need more units over there eventually. Sadly, I should have moved a second worker on this tile. That way this could have been roaded and the settler could move onto that tile this turn, but that is sadly not the case. Alright, chill for a turn. The workboat heading over there to Khoisan's a nice touch, though. Oh, did I ever... apparently I forgot to whip this granary. Whoops. I was supposed to 1-pop whip this granary. Now it's not worthwhile to do so. Now we'll let the granary finish and then 1-pop whip the library. 1-pop whip the Lighthouse. That's not worthwhile to do at this point. Oh well, I forgot about that. Trade mission? I don't know. I think I value the light bulb on the tech more because it'll knock out 1,000 beakers and that's pretty good. So it's true, I'm sure that if I had really focused on rushing Wang Khan, I probably could have done that, but Wang Khan's, like, he's providing a lot of trade route income, honestly. I don't know if it shows up on here how much we're getting from foreign sources, but it's quite a bit. Like, we're getting the trade route income from him, we've got the religion from him. Can avoid civil service to bulb astronomy. That could be, that could be useful, but I don't know if I'll be able to avoid civil service. I know paper is also quite high. I don't think we can do that because we already have civil service available as a tech, and it's not like that's wasted. There are some places where we can use the irrigation, like here we can use that. Could potentially use that here if we're willing to bulldoze over this town. I don't think that that's worthwhile. They're like not. It is generally a good idea to use the. It is generally a good idea to use the great people soonish if you can, because like they don't do anything while they just sit there. So it tends to be better to use them early on if you can, like if there's a benefit to do so. Also, our costs are starting to get a little high because we're break even now at 40%. So I probably need to pause expansion for a little bit to get some courthouses and markets up after this. Anyway, you don't have a ton of stuff to do down here at the moment. I think that I want you to improve this cottage, this tile, and then I don't have a lot for you to do. So yeah, Praetorians really good at killing archers, not so good at killing axes. Now, Wang Khan won't have a ton of axes, but I know he has some. I'd rather use the Praetorians to grab barb cities than hit Wang Khan. Alright, so we finished that. I think I think I'll just grab the missionary, because it's a one-turn build. That does mean that I'm going to need a boat to come back to grab the two of them next turn. Alright, so here's our actual attack. Alright, so again, 72% odds for the City Raider units, and I think it's 66. So the City Raider 1 doesn't actually do that much. So let's cross our fingers and hope for good RNG. Not good for the first one. Could tell it was a loss right away. At least we knocked him down to 3 health. So this is why I was building some extra Praetorians, because I did expect to lose some. If we can get up to City Raider 2, though. Now this guy should have won, based on the animation. Has to make it dramatic, but looked like he did win. Like City Raider 2, you get much better odds. So 72%, we should win roughly 3 out of 4 of these. Right, this one we won without taking much damage. So those guys will both be promoted to City Raider 2. Alright, and now we've got guys with no promotions. This is 2/3 odds. Unfortunately, we lost this one. But now we have 2 crippled units. So now we just clean up with the last 2. So that's slightly unlucky, but roughly about what you'd expect. That I would lose 2 units. So I had 70, 70, 70, and 66. Slightly, so maybe slightly unlucky, but certainly within the realm of possibilities. But that's why I waited the extra turn, so I figured if I lost, then I'd just be able to clean up with the extra units. Alright, so there we go. Now, hey, there's another barb out there. No, return control to the Korean Empire. Yeah, we're going to install a new governor. Hopefully not a lot of anarchy here. 4 turns? What? 4 turns of anarchy? Well, that's annoying. 4 turns of anarchy. Actually, no, we want the library first. We want to pop the borders in this city. Well, we'll have to go kill this archer. We want to get that. We need to pop the borders. At least the fish is in range right away. Yeah, the spear actually got the honor of taking the city. Okay, well, well. So we'll need to ferry some of these units back, but first we're gonna have to kill this. Next up is moving the Praetorians over here to capture these barb cities. Probably need 2 galleys over here. We'll have to get a second galley out. Look at this, I have 2 unhappy people and 2 fish, 2 furious. I'll probably whip the forum just because it gives me happiness. Even though I really could use the courthouse. But I can build the courthouse in 5 turns. We'll whip the forum and then build the courthouse like naturally because it's so cheap. All right, but in any case, that did give us more gold, so we can turn on. And did we get the trade routes just out of curiosity? We do get the trade route immediately. No, this was never a Korean city. Never. It's just a message you get. Now, we did have a name. I remember we had a name queued up for Khoisan. What was the name that we had in mind for this one? Yeah, so this is the tile I should be sitting on. This Praetorian can probably just start walking over towards the east. Sea Dragon Bay is pretty good. Because it does look like a sea dragon, right? A seahorse. Sea Dragon Bay. This will be a nice city down the road. We also, if we want, could squeeze in a city. What was that? Oh, you know what it is? I was trying to ping the map, and I was on a unit, so it pinged. Instead of pinging the map, P is also the command for patrol. All right, so we got that built. Next up, I think we want to improve the bananas. We can at least clear the jungle on this tile. Like we can chop jungle out. You can chop jungle outside your cities. All right, and you're on your way up there. What do you think about trying to take over Wangkon and take his land? Tank your economy while doing that. It's a viable path. Like there's nothing inherently wrong about that. It's just not the way that I typically play. Oh, well, look at what we found. Looks like it's a good thing we didn't move our Tarim all the way over there after all. Mr. Tarim, we got more work for available for you. So it's just generally it does make sense. There's no reason why you can't work that way. It's just I tend to prefer building up peacefully if possible. That doesn't give you the fastest finishes. Like the fastest finishes are always based on smacking the AI and stealing their stuff, but I like building my own Civ more than taking over the AI's Civ, personally. So this would double production, but I think I am fine with this. I'll just swap over once that mine is done. Barb City, the suggestion was Sea Dragon Bay. Delenda East and Delenda West. No, we already had some names for these cities too. This one was going to be, it was like a Poverty Point variant. Poverty Port, I think it was. Anyway. So there's the missionary that we'll ferry over there. Now I will use this, I think I'll use this time to get, we do need maybe an archer for over there too. But I'm tempted just to get the courthouse because it's very cheap. Alright, so forge. No, I was going to whip the forum. We finally got out from our whip unhappiness penalty. And the forum is +1 happiness there. Alright. So, time to come back north again. Hey, little one, why don't you stand here and then can connect that once the borders expand. All right, this one we had a name for. It was a gems. It was a gems related name. It was gem something. I remember it was in the chat a little earlier. It was gem something. I can try to find it. I guess you can't do a search. Gemjol, that was it. Thank you. Gemjol. So another city that's just garbage until the borders expand. Just total garbage. Well, no, actually it's not, because we can use the we can use this once we finish chopping down the jungle. Alright, there we go. Yeah, you're just gonna head to the east, and hey, you can even help Suez out for a turn. So Suez finishing the courthouse. And then next turn we will flop the aqueduct with the aqueduct, and then overflow with the chop into Hanging Gardens. Yeah, you just have to wait until the borders. Oh, look at this! We got a barbarian. All right, so who wants another? Who wants a promotion? We have a full health Praetorian. I would love to get to 8 XP or 2 XP. Excuse me. So these guys do want to move into here so they can heal because they are not in city borders right now. I will promote them to City Raider 2. I definitely want like a medic unit here. So the 1 XP Praetorian should defend and get to 2 XP and promote. And you can just chill there for the moment. Alright, so we did manage to cut that down. And next turn we can... why don't you hop up here? I was like, wait, what the? I was like, what the heck? How did this warrior move through the jungle? And I was like, wait a minute, he's got, he's Woodsman 2. That was the early game original Woodsman 2 unit. So we actually are going to improve that tile next. But in the meantime, so I'm doing something. I'll put a turn into jungle chopping here. Because we have calendar finishing very conveniently, just as we're about to grab this. Like watching Gandhi play if he had human sensibilities. That's amusing. Alright, so this city is ready to... its whip timer has worn out, so we might as well whip something now. So we'll go ahead and cash that in. I do need a unit for here, just for military police. Once I get more happiness, I can reallocate some of these warriors in Suez. But for the time being, I still need them. Don't worry, help is on the way. We've got a gems coming online, and then this ivory just need to pop the borders. And then this worker will head up there, because I do have to road this tile and road this tile. I can road while they're outside my borders, but get that mine done first. This city, I think, whips a worker next. Well, whenever it gets around to it. Oh, and now we've got the full world map.
There is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven.
So Alphabet, I said, was next, so that we can get... building research doesn't hurt, certainly, and then that way we can get civil service going. Alright, we can light bulb civil service. Replace those Praetorians with maces down the road. Alright, so we've got the forge done here. Again, courthouses are cheap. We won't even need to whip this. This will just finish, and then after it's done, we probably whip the forum. Like, as these courthouses come online, it's definitely going to help the economy. Alright, so you need to whip this lighthouse, need to whip this next turn. Hopefully I'll remember. Oh, where's that? Where are you going? Are you trying to run away from me, Barb? Are you trying to run away from me? Anyway, now we can build the banana plantation. Let's get those borders popping as soon as possible. Oh, we're going to need another workboat up here too, aren't we? Because this one has to go to Monty Bananas, but we've got another need for a food tile up here too. So Two Fish, Two Furious, whip your forum. There we go. That'll give you more happiness. Maybe this city, Two Fish, Two Furious, can build it. Because it actually has... It can build a workboat in 2 turns, which is quite nice. Yeah, I think we'll build it, and then it'll take about that many turns to get up there anyway. We've pretty much locked down barbarians coming from this direction, because we know that they can't pass in this direction. This is all ocean tiles. So there's no connection up here. There has to be a connection up in this route, because remember we saw a Saladin boat over here. Let's switch over to the culture. So Saladin, there has to be a way to connect somewhere through there. Like, that's how far we need to go to get circumnavigation. I'm going to push for optics to get there. Right, so you can move on. Will not cause unhappiness. Not for this turn anyway. All right, 2 more. Oh yeah, now you slide out of there. Okay, buddy. Well, I think the AI correctly realized that it was suicide to try to attack at those odds. I'll take the 95% odds. Surprisingly intense battle here. Did win though. I think I'm going to give that one Combat 1 promotion. Alright, so that'll allow me to pull the worker up there in a turn or so. These guys have to finish healing, and then they can head off to that next Barb city. The spear can hang out here for right now, because they don't have another defender for this city. Alright, so you take City Raider 2 and heal. You take City Raider 2 and heal. Okay. Alright, let's see. Oh, can I chain galleys here? I can do a galley chain here. Get to show off those mechanics. Alright. It's not terribly useful here, but... So, move here. Load into the other galley. Now we move back up. Wait, what the? Did I do that wrong? Oh. Apparently I did it the wrong... Apparently I did that the wrong way. Oh well. You can chain units together. You're just waiting for Sea Dragon Bay to come out of resistance. You are similarly waiting for this city to pop its borders. I'll put you to sleep until that happens. Alright, and then that will be done next turn. This city, Gemjol will actually be a pretty decent city. Double food bonuses, and with Gems Mine, yeah, pretty nice. So once we connect this, then we'll road over to this tile. We can clear the jungle, even though we can't actually improve it. But we can road and clear over there. Let's see. This city's getting a courthouse. As far as espionage points go, I think this is still... I think we still want to put them on Saladin, and then I'll probably switch over to even spending in a couple turns. I'm going to run max research this turn, and then I'm going to switch over to money next turn, because Two Fish, Two Furious is going to finish the forum. So it's slightly more efficient to do it in that order. Alright, Two Fish, Two Furious. There we go. That gets you to base production 12. Alright, let's get that courthouse, because you have pretty significant overseas costs. And that'll cheapen that, and then we'll pop to the library, and maybe then we'll build some Praetorians to go grab that city, or some of those Barb cities. Alright. I really hope I win this 88%. I should win, but 88 is not 100%. There we go. Phew! Because it kind of got through my defenses. Alright, well... You can spread religion. Alright, you come here. Let's see, so I want to get this 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Yeah, it's faster, I think, to come up here. And then I can unload next turn and then move it. Yeah, I think that works. Alright, you... Like I said, I think I want a City Raider, or a, Combat 1 unit. Okay, so you can load up, because you're full health. And let's see. And then we'll just begin the slow process of moving the Praetorians over here to the east. Alright, there we go. So now we've got a 5 food tile there. Oh, I said this city was going to get the workboat for up there. I forgot about that. So road that. You really want me to rename a unit Maximus? That's like I think the second or third time that request has come in, but okay. So, alright, so now we'll turn off research. So break even is right at 40%. It's It's not bad for this stage of the game. The courthouses and markets will make a big difference in terms of bumping up what we can do. Oh, Suez has to whip its aqueduct this turn. Won't get us a lot of overflow, but that way we'll go into Hanging Gardens and make our play for this. Like, as each of these courthouses as it finishes will help. And then long term, by the fact because I'm organized will kick in and give us discounts on our expenses. Like, it will cut down on our expenses long term. In the background, this city also needs to whip its lighthouse. There we go. Also needs a defender, and you need to work that cottage. Just need to keep an eye on your cities here and there. I need more defenders. I should probably just get a bunch of archers out of the city because I need military police. The courthouse is cheap enough that I think it was good to build, but I just need like some archers here and there. I'd love to move out this warrior, but I need it for happiness in Clam Nation right now. Like, Pearl's Harbor needs a defender, Monte Banana needs a defender, this city, Siriote, needs a defender, so archers are inexpensive here. I've got base production of 22, so I can almost one turn them. Alright, Hanging Gardens, we've got a chop coming in. And after this grows, I'll probably toss an engineer specialist in there. Alright, so as I said, archers. One turn, a few of them. Now you do the courthouse, after being kind enough to get that workboat ready. Let's see, similar for you, normally I would, so I think I go forged next here, just because it, again, increases the power of future whips. This city also needs religion, too. Clam Nation pops borders again. It gives Fur Nation Vercingetorix one extra tile to work. Or no, 2 extra tiles to work. This wasn't in the borders before. It looks a little weird seeing these borders, because Vercingetorix has not expanded its borders, but Clam Nation has expanded them 3 times. So Clam Nation's borders extend all the way down here, and like to this tile, and this tile. A little bit weird. Anyway, courthouse is ready to go, so we will pop that. Cut our maintenance costs by a little bit. Let's see, tiles that still need improvement down here. Not a lot here, although I would like to run a road to Pearl's Harbor for logistical purposes. So I think I'll run that so I can like load up units. Alright, I'll put on a go-to order instead of moving you every turn. The Tarim promoted, now I'll heal it. Road. You guys can chop this jungle. Also, don't cut over to the other side of the world. Alright, so now you can hop in there. Like I said, I think I want another worker out of here, but I'm waiting for that whip counter to tick down a little bit. When it gets lower, I'll just 2-pop whip the worker, because there's some stuff to do here at Sea Dragon Bay. Alright, so we don't have quite enough to whip the library, which is too bad, but we do... I guess we don't technically need the library. I guess we don't technically need that. I just want the borders to pop quicker to get that ivory in play, but it is what it is. We'll do the more responsible route of going granary first. Yeah, it makes more sense to do the granary first. Or do we want no, we want the granary. We'll just go granary lighthouse, which is kind of the standard build for this situation. Also, I'm pretty sure Seoul will not pick up this tile, because Seoul would have picked up this tile a long time ago. I'm sure that Seoul's borders have reached the... yeah, because see this tile? Well, let me get off a military unit, because right now if I try to ping the map, I'm going to get... Actually, no, this is a land unit I can ping. So, Seoul... like, see, this is the 3rd ring borders for Seoul. This pops when you hit 100 culture. Seoul has definitely hit 100 culture by now, but the borders have not expanded to this tile, and that's because it's overseas. When it's on another continent, your borders will expand to the 21 tile radius, but they won't go further than that. Like, you'll get the 2 rings, but you won't get further than that. So that's what's going on there. Alright, so you should heal for 2 turns. I'm going to move you out there to avoid confusion. I'm going to move you here. And this unload this worker so that next turn the worker can move here and road. Alright, so there are some units that are full health here. This Praetorian's at 7.8, so that's fine. We've got a 7.8 and a full health, so you guys can start moving. I don't know what this guy... Oh, it queued up this guy because I could debark him if I wanted. Nope, you'll move here and then we'll unload you next turn and you can start marching east. And then we've got I guess one leftover Praetorian over here. Alrighty, so, oh, we got the chop into into Hanging Gardens, so 9 turns. If I set this to, alright, we'll cut that down to 8 turns and run the engineer, just for, make it a little bit safer. Now you're just about ready for another whip again, aren't you? Yeah. So I wasn't focusing Sandlot too much, but this is a great time to whip the forge. We'll grab that. I'll probably run Missionary next, because I want to get Religion into Pearl's Harbor. How's the whip counter? Oh, this city's just about ready to whip something too. Well, we'll whip it next turn. And Two Fish, Too Furious just whipped something. Alright, gotta stay on top of all these cities. I believe you whip as soon as the courthouse is done. After the courthouse, I think we go into Forum. So these courthouses should do a nice job of controlling our costs. I see there's a question in chat. Are you taking suggestions? You can feel free to suggest away. I wouldn't anticipate major changes. Also, the next season of AI Survivor is probably like 7 months away. 7 or 8 months away. So just fair warning that it's not going to be anytime soon. I think the next thing here is library to pop the borders. That or I might 2-pop whip a worker next, but I wouldn't put the city on worker. I would obviously produce something else first. This city needs to chop that tile. Like I said, I think I want to get missionary next. Either that or the... Just out of curiosity, I think we'll do the courthouse next, because the city's going to grow into this tile, and then it can probably just build the courthouse for itself without much trouble. Hey! We got a free Confucianism spread, finally, in this city. Like, after forever, we finally got the Confucianism spread. Sure took long enough. Anyway, so yeah, we're letting this run down, as mentioned, and then whipping the... whipping another worker, because we can use it there. Alright, so this city gets its courthouse. Let's turn research back on. Actually, it looks like we don't even need that much overflow there. This is probably better to get the extra production. Yeah, I think that's better, even though it slows growth slightly. When you're building a granary, you want to get that done quickly. Alright, so we need a road here. We can road, and then we're just waiting for that. You, I'm going to move to here, and then you can hop in next turn. I guess we'll use the spear as the defender for right now, this random spear. Alright, so these archers are just going from military police to empty cities. Pearl's Harbor, Sarate, and so on. Still debating if I want to put a city on this tile, because I would like to make use of that fish. I hate just seeing a fish resource not being worked, but at the same time, like, do I really need to do that? Do I really need to squeeze in another city? It is the optimal play, but I don't know. So you can now build a road on this tile. Alright, borders will pop here next turn, so Monty Banana can finally work its fish resource and then whip its granary out. Has to be size 2 for that. Overall, things looking pretty good. I mean, you can see I'm a good distance ahead of the AIs in terms of score, which is a good general metric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 7. He has 8 cities. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 cities. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wang Khan only has 7 cities. Also, he's not running Slavery Civic, which is a very big mistake on a map like this, where production's limited.
Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world.
Alright, so like I said, just going to grab some archers out of here for right now. My costs are going down noticeably as these courthouses finish. We're almost back to break even at 50% now. Pretty close. Alright, I guess we go for them next. Eventually these cities will run out of stuff to build. This guy may be able to kill some of the defenders himself because... Oh, Hanging Gardens built in a faraway land. Oh, not fast enough, you guys. Missed it by that many turns. 6 turns. Pretty early Hanging Gardens, too. Turn 123. That's disappointing, but that's life. Happens sometimes. Oh, well. At least we can fire this stupid spy specialist. We will get some fail gold for that. Wasn't quite fast enough. I didn't make them like a huge priority. It was more, I think this is something we can do. Also, did I forget to unload that Praetorian last turn? Oh, I only unloaded one of the 2 Praetorians last turn. What the? Okay, well, at least that guy got to heal because he wasn't moving. I'll just unload him over here then. Oh well. Not that bad in the end. It's like not like Hanging Gardens was a super crucial wonder or anything. Anyway, so now we can light bulb civil service, so let's go ahead and get that. And that'll knock out an expensive tech for us. Should we go for Mausoleum? The problem is I don't have marble. It's an expensive wonder if you don't have marble, is the thing. Like, if you look here, 29 turns, I'm not sure I really want to invest that. I'm not sure if I want to make a play for that with no marble. If I had marble, I think I would go for it, but I don't, unfortunately. Alright, so you're gonna hop on board and join the latest dance craze, the Praetorian Shuffle. So, we landed the most important wonder, which was the Great Library. Or not the Great Library. The Great Lighthouse. Alright, and we should be pretty safe from barb galleys coming in this direction. Like, I guess they could technically spawn on this, but I don't think that they can spawn from those tiles. Maybe I'm wrong. And otherwise, they can only kind of come from this direction over here. Alright, so you need to road this tile first. I'm just clearing jungle so that these guys can do something while the road's being built. How many turns until the borders expand here? 6 turns? Okay, well we'll have this roaded and the jungle cleared by the time that that's ready. There was a practice of just referring to Great Lighthouse and Great Library as GL. You would see that a lot of the time, and it was not clear what people were referring to. This was even worse in Civ4 because people would also refer to GL as Great Leader. So GL could be Great Lighthouse, it could be Great Library, or it could be Great Leader. It could be any of the above. Yeah. So, a little annoying. A little confusing, I guess I should say, not annoying. Anyway, so that puts us in the medieval era. More different music now.
The bureaucracy is expanding to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy.
So we could, in theory, go into bureaucracy, but I don't know if that's really that valuable in this game. Now that we have alphabet, we can see what text the AI has too, so we should probably do that. Let's go ahead and check what they've got. First, let me look at the civics though. Is there anything I'd rather like? It would like if I could get a two double civic swap, like bureaucracy plus mercantilism might be worthwhile. Probably should do that in a golden age though. I honestly think that what I'm more likely to use on this map is nationhood, because drafting is really good on island maps where you have low production but a lot of cities. Nationhood is quite nice. Anyway, so you're going to come over here and road this. So yeah, we get 159. Yeah, harbors should be pretty decent on this map. Now, we're not expansive, so we do not get the cheap harbors, but the extra trade route yield and clams, crabs, fish are both pretty nice. We have all three of those resources. Where are my crabs? Over here at Vicino. So +3 health from them. Like the Suez, it's definitely worthwhile to build a harbor, get the extra trade route income from these cities, plus the extra health, which is holding the city back a bit. So let's, I wanted to see what text the AIs had. All right, so we can look at their tech tree and see what they have. So let's see. Priesthood, meditation on a lot of them. Let's just start with Saladin. So he has priesthood and horseback riding and construction. So he could build elephants right now if he has ivory. No idea if he has ivory or not. He is missing, he doesn't have metal casting, doesn't have alphabet, doesn't have currency. He's largely, and he doesn't have code of laws either. So he has these 3 techs right here, but he has not hit the top of the tree, and he doesn't have currency, code of laws, or metal casting. Those are some pretty big holes in his setup. So he's behind us in tech. As for Wang Khan, he's picked up aesthetics, so he's probably going to hit the aesthetics wonders at the top of the tech tree. That's fine. I don't think that they're super valuable on this map. Again, I don't have marble, so I'm not really looking to make a great library play or a mausoleum play. Even the epics at literature are kind of expensive if you don't have marble. So without marble, they're a lower priority for me, at least for me. I also don't have a unit to unlock Heroic Epic yet, which also makes that a lower priority. Maybe I can get a unit up to 10 XP killing these barb cities, but at the moment I don't have that. So what is he missing? He doesn't have hereditary rule, no monarchy. That's a big mistake. He should have gone for that. Look at his cities. They're very capped on happiness. His biggest city is size 7. There's no cities above size 7. So compare to me, capital's 11, 8, 6. And I've been pretty strapped on happiness too. I've just made better use of it than him. So we're gonna pop the granary. Sorry, I just saw that while that was going on. We actually have 2 workboats here. Either one could found this. Anyway, so there's that getting connected. Anyway, back to Wang Khan. So what else? He's missing alphabet. He can research what's his philosophy path, just out of curiosity. So he has code of laws. That's his philosophy path. Has someone founded the philosophy of religion, just out of curiosity? Oh, I can't research it yet, so I can't tell. Because I don't have meditation, of course. So let's see. So priesthood, meditation, aesthetics up on me, but no monarchy, no monarchy tech, which is a big mistake. He doesn't have metal casting either, so no forges. Okay, so it doesn't look like either of them is about to unlock caravels anytime soon. Neither one of them has compass, neither one of them has metal casting, so that means they are not close to getting caravels. So hopefully we're in good shape to get circumnavigation. Hopefully. Alright, so that jungle will be gone next turn. So you're just going to go stand in that city for happiness purposes. I can group you 2 together to save a few clicks. You can hop out there. And at this point, I think I want 1 galley over here. I need you know what? I need a 2nd galley to ferry units over here in the east. So let's shift a galley over here to help out with this upcoming assault on the Barb cities. All right, so you Archer are going there. I need another Archer for Pearl's Harbor and 1 for Monty Bananas. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then I'm also going to need Archers for these Barb cities, so I think I'll get a couple more out after this. I'm going to land you just to see what kind of odds I'm getting against these Archers. And you are going to head to the north and maybe finally do some exploring, although I don't think I'll be able to do big-time exploring until after I get optics unlocked, because it just looks like there's too many ocean barriers. Like, if I send one caravel to the east this way and one caravel to the west this way, I can probably get circumnavigation pretty quickly. Two Fish, Two Furious can certainly whip or build a caravel very quickly. Like, it's about to knock out this courthouse. And then... Wait, does it already have the forum? It does have the forum. I'm going to need to keep getting more stuff for some of these cities to build. Well, I guess I can always do units if I don't have stuff to build. That's always a possibility. Always do units. Like, this city needs a barracks. At the moment, I still only have one city with a barracks. And how long until Suez can whip again? A little while. That's okay. What's the break-even point for custom houses to pay off? It's a good question. They're more valuable on a water map like this. Where are they again? They're at here they are. Oh, so it's only foreign trade route yield. So if you're planning on fighting people, it's not that valuable. I've kind of been thinking this map might end up in domination or conquest, because the AIs do not handle them. Excuse me, AIs do not handle themselves that well on these maps. And it's not something I've done on stream a lot. Alright, so 14 base production. I guess we do the library next here. Because we're kind of running out of stuff to build. Oh, could do Forbidden Palace here, but I don't know if I want to use one of my national wonders in this spot. Apparently the borders are also going to pop next turn too. I'm not sure what else I want here. I don't know if this is the Heroic Epic city or not. It might end up being Heroic Epic. It's either this city or the Clam spot in the west. I guess we do the library for right now. Okay, so we got the granary. Now we need the lighthouse. Now that's a nice overflow there. I think I'll pick up one of these tiles at when it grows back to size 2, just to knock out the library quick. Oh, lighthouse. Lighthouse, not library. Knock out the lighthouse quickly. Clam Nation would be good for iron. Yeah, Clam Nation would be good for ironworks. That's true, because it's got the hill tiles. It could also always pick up these two tiles too, like long term. They could be like workshops or something. Yeah, this might be better for Heroic Epic, just because I think the production output is a little bit higher here. Generally, you don't get too many cities that are super high production output on water maps like this, though. So you're going to Pearl Harbor. I think Pearl Harbor is the better staging area, just because I don't have construction for bridges down here. So I think I'll come over here, and then you can like come back here. I think we need a road on this tile, just for movement's sake. Because like that way these units can like hop on the boat here. Actually, hop. Alright, anyway. Let's see what the odds are. Alright, so here's the difference between city on a hill versus city not on a hill. The odds are 95% for city on a hill, or for city not on a hill. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, because we have 20 to 1 odds to win. Roughly. So, and now the unit can promote, and then it'll have City Raider 2. Oh, this is the... I got these units backwards. This is the... I got these units backwards. I think this boat just stays here for the time being. You, though, swap to the worker, and then we'll double whip the worker. You need to grab another cottage here. Yeah, you can just hang out here, because I will have units to ferry sooner or later. Over there. Alright, so that gives me archers for Monte Banana and Pearl's Harbor, and now I want 2 more archers for the captured Barb cities. Okay, so you could work this tile. I'm basically just waiting for the borders to pop here. Yeah, I want to run the food, so why don't you come down here and we'll cottage this tile while we're waiting for the borders to pop. I can have it cottage next turn. Then we'll probably go back to chopping to advance these cities in their build. You are just about out. No, I guess you have a little more time before you need to whip something. And your happiness cap has gone up too. Is that because I got a full... No, why is the happiness cap up here? Oh, it's because the Praetorians are walking through. I was like, what's going on? Why do I have 9 happiness in this city? Praetorians are just walking through. Right, so one more archer, and then you're done on... You're done with archer duty for a little while. Okay, apparently we were very close to finishing Compass last turn. 2 Fish, 2 Furious have expanded. And Plainsview have expanded. Which one's Plainsview again? Oh, down here. That doesn't really affect much. Well, now we've got a more direct route to the Barb City, though. That's cool. Now we can cross through this ocean tile here. Got this, like, archer chain moving through. Alright, you can promote. Do I think I'd be stronger now if I had tried to take out Wang Khan? I mean, I don't think so, because I probably would have done that. I mean, it could have worked. Like I said, I'm sure it could work. It just wasn't a route I wanted to go down, and it's kind of hard to, like, at some point it's kind of hard to guess exactly how that goes. It depends on how strongly he defended. He, like, if I land here and pillage the copper, and if he doesn't have any other sources of metal, like, if I take out his ability to train any kind of metal units, then potentially it could go very well. But I don't know. It's not a route I went down. So unfortunately right now, we are waiting for the borders to expand to be able to connect that. But at least I was able to get it roaded. And now we'll have another worker here to help out next turn. That overflow should come close to finishing the courthouse. So, yeah, there's not too much for this worker to do. I think I can come over here and at least road this. I don't want to chop it because it's outside the borders. I'll get a penalty. You, let's see. I need to move here for next turn to load up. Alright, get that cottage down. There we go. Now we're at least working a cottage. And you just chill here for a couple turns until the borders pop. We might be able to push further north in terms of exploring once the borders pop here, because then we'll be able to move over those ocean tiles. Poor 2 Fish, 2 Furious is like, please get me another happy resource, please. But for right now, that's about as good as I can do. All right, so we've got more archers incoming. Let's queue you up to move there. And for you to move here, because that's as fast as I can get through there. Alright, so Suez now has pretty much all of its tiles improved. So now we're going to move here, and we're going to irrigate towards this city, because we wanted to farm this tile and farm this tile, just so I can get it up to +5 food. These tiles, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe late in the game they get workshopped or something. This city looks like it's going to have the granary done, and then I can whip... I don't know. Whip something. Why is 2 Fish working an engineer specialist? Just for the extra production. Just for the extra production. I guess it's probably better to work this tile, though. Yeah, it is probably better to work this tile. I think you're right. No real... I don't think there's any real need to work that. The great profit points from Moai statues. I don't know what I would do with a great profit. What's, just out of curiosity, what's break-even rate? We're almost back to 50% break-even rate. So, speeding along towards optics. I really want to get to optics. I want to get caravels out and start exploring more of the map. Been very limited. Oh, apparently we have enough espionage points on Saladin now to see his research. That's cool. Let's keep that up. And let's see if we can get enough. Let's even out the spending. This is another nice thing about being organized. You get all those early courthouses. And let's see if we can get to the point where we can see Wang Khan's research too.
The wisest men follow their own direction.
So yeah, I mean, this is Immortal difficulty. Now these are expensive techs. This will take a little while to get these two. All right, that's the last archer I should need. Do we need religion in these cities? I'm trying to think. This city could... I think we go the forum just for the +1 happiness, because the city's otherwise going to grow into unhappiness. Is that or the... Well... All of these buildings are nice, and they're all very cheap. I think I'm just going to knock out all these buildings in quick succession here. Because I think I've covered units at the moment. And I should have enough time to knock out those buildings. I don't think I want to whip that city. I think it's better just using natural production. Now this city has finished Granary, Lighthouse, Forge, Courthouse. This is coming along really nicely. So I think next up we whip the Forum. The only other thing to do would be to get out a settler for that spot right here, which I might do, but I think we whip this first. The library would be cheaper, but this would give me more happiness, so Forum I think it is. I am absorbing more cities over here. Alright, so this is 90% odds. Let's hold off for the time being there. Poor Pearl's Harbor is unhappy because it has no units in it. Don't worry, there's an archer coming. It's only one turn away. Poor city. Alright, meanwhile you... Oh, hey look, it's another Saladin boat. That guy does not like me. It makes sense, too, because I've got a different religion. Alright, you need to chop this, so we can put another cottage down. I will hold for a turn. This guy won't heal very much, but I'll hold until I can attack with more than one unit. I probably can take this city as soon as these two Praetorians land. So that would be in 2 turns, and then they can heal and then hop over to the next city. The one that actually counts. I will need to get workers over there to improve these once that happens. Poor Cassite has, like, very little of value, but I want to mine the gems tile first. Alright, so we've got a cottage that we can put down there. Let's take the... let's get this tile next, because that puts us right next to the gems. Alright, and you are going to go to... You are going to go to Monte Banana, so that city has a defender. Alright, so... I'm going to cancel that order. Because I want to wait until the borders pop to cash in the chop. This new worker down here, I'm going to try to get up to that spot, I think. I want to have both of these workers ready to improve this as soon as the borders pop. So I'm probably going to road this tile and then move on over after that. Let's see. So I spend 2 turns roading. Yeah, that should line up just about right. In the meantime, then, I'll have this worker go ahead and road. And just be in a position to improve that tile as soon as the borders pop. I'll probably road a connection between these 2 cities, just because. Alright, you are heading over in this direction, although I'll move you 1 tile at a time, just because I'm not sure exactly where you're going to end up. You're going to chop this. I actually got that chopped down already. That was a little faster than I thought. Well, that's good. We can finish the cottage here next turn, and then everyone's in position to mine that. I'm trying to get these cottages queued up right now, like more than I need at the moment, because I will be shuffling some of these workers over to this island afterwards. Alrighty. 98 science. So yeah, actually we're not as far away from machinery as I thought. It looks like it's only 6 turns total, based on the money we already have invested. Oh, what the? Plains view? No. No spy specialist. Bad plains view. No spy specialists. It looks like it's been running it for a turn or 2, unfortunately. Since you're going to grow into unhappiness, why don't you run scientist specialists instead. They are much better. Much better. They give much better great people, too. This city is doing fine. I'll probably whip the harbor next, I think. Or I might just maybe it's better just to let this city grow. We're about to get a big influx of happiness. Because we're about to get +2 happiness from this, and another +2 happiness from this. Actually, this city probably would just let it grow. Just let it grow into unhappiness, it's fine. It's like, what? There's so many people unhappy. It's like, it's fine. So build the harbor, which gives us more health. And, how much production are we getting? 13? See, let's see, if I go here, we get 12. Yeah, that's probably fine. We also keep the city growing. Finish the library and then build the harbor. I'm just looking to see if there's anywhere else I should be whipping. This city needs a whip shortly. This city is overflowing and finishing the courthouse. I think we're good. Alright, well, we can work on your forum next. Oh, look at that. The maintenance down to just 3.5 at that city. That's pretty nice. Yeah, look at that. We're break even at 5. We're break even at 50% now. Nice. Alright, so this city should two-pot whip something. I think we let the granary finish, and probably... Well, I'd like to whip the forge, but that's a 3-pop whip. I don't think I have enough for that. Probably the library, honestly. 2-pop whip the library. That'll actually get the borders to pop a turn faster, too. Which means I should be moving over here. Road, yeah, to road this tile. Got the archer chain. One of the reasons why I try not to play a huge map. This is a small map, by the way. Oh, look at this. Look at what we found here. Another barb ship. Well, that's why we've got the trireme. I don't think this can get past. Hold on, let's just check this. Alright, no. This, you cannot move through here. I was checking to see if it could slip by. So it's going to have to go through that trireme. I'll see if it attacks. If it doesn't, I'll attack myself. Where was the other galley? I thought I had 2 galleys that were over here. I thought I had 2 of them that were moving over here. Oh, the other one's in Two Fish, Too Furious. Okay. That's where the other one is. Alright, so you are going to chop for the Sandlot, which is almost done with its current whip penalty. Let's see, this ship can get here, so I can load onto that ship next turn with this Praetorian. And finish the cottage, and we're ready to go on that tile next turn. It'll take 2 turns, unfortunately, but borders are going to pop next turn, and we're looking pretty good there. Yeah, so we'll whip the library, overflow into the granary. And we need... That should pop the borders on turn 130. Alright, so as expected. So we should have like 95% odds on that battle. We didn't even take any damage. We had 96.5% to win that battle. So pretty good. This trireme has been worth its weight in gold. Just been killing barb galleys left and right. Alright, now that we've got these reinforcements, we should be good to go here. They all should have high odds to capture this city. Alright, who wants to go first? So this guy's got 96.6. 98.9. Alright, we'll start with you. Again, the difference between the archers being on a hill versus not being on a hill. Alright. I will let Maximus try to get the last hit. So I should win all of these, but it's not guaranteed. It is possible I could get a bad sequence of dice rolls. Doesn't look like it's happening this yet. I only have 1% odds to lose this. Alright. Install a new governor. So this is going to be Poverty Port. I swear, we'll make this a great city someday. But it is not a great city right now. It is emphatically not a great city. There's not even I can't even funnel a forest chop into this city to get it started. It's really sad. What we have to, so here's what we have to do. We have to grow it to size 2. And then at size 2, we can whip the lighthouse for 1 pop. And then once the lighthouse is done, it can build a granary. But this is going to be a long, slow road. It is definitely poverty, a very poor city. All right, I think we can get machinery in 4 from this. Anyway, so we'll have to get ready to ship these guys over to the next city. It's probably it's probably faster to load them up and then unload them because we can unload in the forest. So I think I'll bring this ship over here. Now here's the other ship. I'm going to need to ferry some workers down here too. 2 will stay. 2 to connect this. And then we've got these archers that are ready to hop in and serve as military police. They've got to hop on over here too. Poor Suez. It's okay. We're gonna have +2 happiness in the city next turn. All right. So with the oh wait, what the? Why? Oh, the library's a 3-pop whip. Oh, I miscalculated. No, I forgot. It's a 3-pop whip. I don't have. Yeah. I'm not creative. It's a 3-pop whip. Shoot. I get 75 production from whip. That's unfortunate. I get 75, but I'm only at 8, and 8 plus 75 is 83. Well, I can whip it next turn for 2-pop. Oh well. That means that we're another turn away from finishing this, though. Oh well. So you pop in here. You can hop in that boat next turn. So I already have 2 of them building a mine there. Do we have enough to finish this? No. This city needs to grow to size 4, and then it can 2-pop with the granary. I have to do it that way because I don't have I don't have a forest to chop. Sadly, it doesn't look like there's any path through here either. These are all ocean tiles. None of these are coastal. Ocean, ocean. Yeah, it just kind of blocked. Maybe there's something up in this direction, but mostly do seem to be blocked here. Good news is this city's going to grow very fast. With in just 4 turns, we can double whip the granary, and then that'll work. We're going to have that connected next turn. So you, worker, need to come down here. I'm going to have these 2 workers probably shuffle over to grab these calendar resources, these spices. So looking good. This city is ready to whip its forum. I should wait the 3 turns though, because that way it'll regrow faster. And I'm not. I'm running science right now, so it's not like the building gives me any benefit. Only works when I'm running gold, so I can wait there. This city should honestly whip the forum, not the courthouse. So we should whip the forum and overflow into courthouse. We should make that swap next turn. 2 Fish, 2 Furious is fine. Plainsview is just about ready to whip. But I'll wait a couple more turns for that to wear off. Suez, I think, needs another turn. Alright, next turn. We'll get that. Vercingetorix doesn't have enough to whip the library yet for Vercingetorix. Still somehow has not gotten religion. And then this city we just looked at, and it wasn't able to whip. Alright. Let's see. You should do the harbor next because you've got a lot of unhealthiness. Let's finish this so our cities are looking good. Statue of Zeus. Let's see, was it built by anyone we know? Unknown, so it was not built by one of ours. Alright, the Sandlot will just finish its court. We'll let it finish the courthouse, overflow, and then finish the forum. And look at this, now we get +2 happiness in every city. Yay! Because we finally have the gems connected. We should build the cottage here while we're on the tile, because we don't have this city captured just yet. Okay, you move there. You archers are going to need to be ferried over. Oh, then archers next, then the workers, and then we'll figure out where to send the Praetorians next after that. Finally defog that one tile that had been in mystery. All right, you hop on the boat and come on over. Let's see. So you guys will. Some of you will have to heal. All right, you'll be healed up next turn. I think these guys need to move into the city because they'll heal much faster in there, even though it costs a turn. And I wish I had something more useful for you to do, but I think you just move over here. Costs slightly less gold to stand in my borders as opposed to not being in my borders, so I'll do that. And you can come back to ferry more units. Oh, actually, I was going to use this boat to ferry units over, but they need a turn or two to heal. This one the 6.9 will be full health next turn, and then it can hop in the boat. All right, Plainsview. Hey, look at this! All of a sudden, Plainsview actually has enough happiness to keep growing. Nice. So we can hold off on whipping that for a turn or two. Two Fish, Two Furious is finally happy. All of a sudden, we have enough happiness, and with the harbor, we'll have enough health to be able to grow. We actually have an incentive to grab a city up here because we really can use the rice. We don't have rice as a resource. I'd love to trade for some, but no one else seems to have it either. Yeah, nobody else seems to have it. The Canal Fort 2 tiles southeast of Sea Dragon Bay. I thought forts had to be in your territory to build them too. I agree that this would be a great tile for a fort. But I thought forts had to be in your territory. We could fort this tile, though. That'll be in our territory once the borders pop. I could be wrong. I thought they had to be in your territory. Alright, so there were some other cities that were close to being whipped that I wanted to grab. This city was close. I wanted to let it grow until it hit the... until it was about to hit the cap there. Let's just finish this lighthouse. One turn faster. Oh wait, no, that stops the city from growing, so that's not worth it. So, Gem Joel now actually looks pretty good. And as bad as Poverty Port is, it is adding extra commerce to every city. So yeah, let this finish, then we whip the granary to completion. And then it can grow into cottages. I think I'll keep these two workers in the area cutting down jungle and cottaging tiles. And the two workers that are here after they build this cottage will pop over there to work on that city. Yeah, looking good. Now Suez is finally happy. I can actually shift some of these warriors around. Yeah, now after I went to all the trouble of building those military police archers, now I've got some extra warriors, but that's fine. Doesn't hurt having a little bit of extra. This city is probably going to grab the harbor next. Actually, let's go ahead and just whip the harbor next turn, and then we can finish the forum afterwards. This city can finally grow again, so we should probably let the city, now that it has a little bit more happiness, we should let it grow. I'll pull some of these off the hill tiles to let it grow to the new happy cap, and then I'll pop them back on the hill tiles. We don't have anything super pressing to finish in there right now. Alright, so the Sandlot, work this tile while we're building the cottage. That's right, it's gonna whip and complete the forum next turn. Alright, so you come back here. Cottage. Cottage. Two archers ready to hop on these boats. Alright, so you need to heal 3 turns. You're ready to go. Alright, so I can land these guys and then get ready to help more units. Alright, now you can finally connect this resource. I can now get the library belatedly. Let's see. I guess we'll work that. That overflow will finish the granary. Yeah, overflow will finish the granary, and then we'll get the lighthouse, and then the city will be off and running. Alright, Monte Banana. I guess you grab this while we're waiting for the lighthouse. You can grab the seafood tiles after that, and then you can get ready for your forge. Cities that still need religion. I think most of my cities have religion now. Vercingetorix, Pearl's Harbor, Poverty Point. Poverty Point we just picked up. Where's the other one that's missing? Oh, Pearl's Harbor still needs... Alright, one of you cities... Too Fish, Too Furious, how about you build us some missionaries as soon as you get done with the harbor? I want the harbor to finish because I want to get rid of that health penalty. But otherwise, as soon as that's done... I think you're also long-term going to steal these 2 tiles away from Plainsview, or Plainsview. Yeah, I think Plainsview is going to lose those tiles long-term. It's going to be able to whip that next turn. Alright, so you need to heal for another turn or 2. Let's see. I can wait a turn here for both of these archers to hop on the boats. Okay, you guys, let's see. Monte Banana, I think, needs cottages more. Actually, no. Monte Banana can grab this tile. That lighthouse is going to finish either way. Why don't you get this tile while you're here? Then you can work your way down. First city. It's true. Vercingetorix still doesn't have religion either. Alright. Let's see if the Terrene can spot anything to the north. So yeah, we need religion, and I was going to whip this city here. There we go. I was going to definitely get religion in Pearl's Harbor, and then I just have Too Fish, Too Furious build some missionaries for these cities over here. Maybe when Clam Nation finishes its forum, I can just get a quick missionary for Vercingetorix. I've been very rude to that city throughout the game, like very rude to that city. So here, like you can work, I can work these tiles for more, for faster growth, but I think working this tile is actually worthwhile because by going up to, by cutting 1 food per turn from the city, I go up from 1 production to 6. Like, that's a lot more production. So, because you can see I get 4 base production plus 25% from the forge plus 25% from Confucianism as a state religion. So I think that's worth it while to do that, just to get 6 times the production in exchange for -1 food. Alright, and now our happiness problem is finally about to come to a conclusion here. So let's see, you need a forge next. Just grow population until you can whip it. Suez should be able to finish the forum with that overflow, and I'd rather have you working the coastal tiles unless, actually, the +1 production gets me to 10, which then gets me up to 15. So I think that actually is worthwhile. Alright, and I do want to road this tile just so I have a road connection, because this iron is roaded, obviously. Sea Dragon Bay, finish the... Let's get this finished, and then work the... Then work that tile. It's a much better tile. It does lower the food surplus, but it's a much better tile. Finish the granary. Now we'll get the lighthouse, which is going to be super cheap. And then we've got all the food we need at that point. And now this city's off and rolling. Next up, I'm probably gonna chop this. And that'll complete the lighthouse instantly. All right, you hop on board. You can get on board next turn. I think I'll just wait a turn here. So you can unload these guys, who are both full health. Oh, they were still queued up together. I don't think I want them to attack just yet. I want them to have their buddies join them. These two need another turn or so, so I think... I'm trying to think what's the most efficient way to do this with the boats. So how many total Praetorians I have over here? I have 2, 3, 4, So I just have the 4 Praetorians. Okay, so I definitely don't want to attack until I can have all 4 of them attack. The fact that some of them are... We've got 3 of the 4 are now City Raider 2. So I think as soon as they're healed, we're good to go. I think the thing to do is put them in this city. And then when they're healed, they can load up on the boat and then potentially drop off on the same turn. Alright, so now that's finally done. Go ahead and whip that. Like, finish the cottage only to whip off it instantly. Well, life's like that sometimes. Whip this. And this is great because I'm just about to finish a tech, and then I can run gold just as these forums complete. So it's a little, like I said, a little more efficient. And hey, another forum completing. Nice. They'll have the forums complete right when we're running gold. This city, I think, is almost ready to whip its forum. But yeah, the economy's humming along nicely. How are we looking in terms of espionage? So we can see Saladin's research, and for Wang Khan, we're pretty close to being able to see his research too. Not that I really need to be able to see their research, but it's nice.
A god from the machine.
And optics is next. Alrighty, so look at this. We've completed almost everything we need here in the capital. Sounds like it's time to... Oh, look at that trade route income, geez. Sounds like it's time to get the barracks done while we can, as we grow towards the happy cap, which is now 17. What? Yeah, that's nice. Alright, well, if that's the case, let's just run as much food as we can. Yeah, let's just run as much food as we can and let the city grow. Now we don't have that tiny happy cap anymore. Now all of a sudden our cities can grow, so I think we'll do that. Just let these cities grow away for the time being. We finally don't have to keep capping them at like low city sizes. Do I want a missionary from here? Sure, we're probably going to need a missionary. So you still have some more infrastructure to do. I think the harbor would be the most useful thing to get first. Okay, granary on the lighthouse. We will chop that to completion with this. As for you, and finish that road and then get to work on the whatchamacallit. Wow, we get 171. That's pretty nice. Then you can get to work on... I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, get to work on the fort. That's it. To connect through here. Alright, well these Praetorians are basically good to go. 7.8 out of 8 is fine for health. Load. Load. They can't unload until next turn. Okay. I thought that was how that worked, but oh well. We'll unload them next turn and be good to go after that. What's this? New tiles? Tiles we haven't explored yet? Just looking to see if any of these tiles are navigable here. Nope, they're all ocean. It really seems like we can't do anything until optics. So what's the big difference between City Raider 1 and 2? With City Raider 2, the odds go from that 76 to 87. That's a big increase. Alright, so now you workers... I don't have a galley to drop you off. I'm going to have to drop off the archer and then come back. But that's fine. There's always work for workers to do. I would like to road that tile there. Just because it's on the coast and it's a convenient pickup and loading spot. I'll just move you there this turn. So you're still on the road network. Just trying to see. I think I actually want to do this. I want to get that lighthouse done faster. So I think I'll run the higher production configuration. Since the lighthouse is worth +1 food here, and then I can shift over to this tile for another +1 food. Alright, looking good. This city, not quite done. A lot of cities are growing back after whips this turn. Just want to check in that they're not running specialists like idiots. I think they're looking pretty good though. Looking good there. Ah, here we go. This city needs to whip its granary. Alright, there we go. It's sad to drop off that tile, but whatever. We'll grow back very quickly and then we can pick that up. And this city is pretty much good to go. This city, yep, just growing. Grow, grow, grow. Grow towards that happiness cap. Looking good. So here I said I was going to get a missionary for Vercingetorix, because it's been without, like, forever. Alright, and Two Fish, Two Furious was going to do the same thing. Was going to get a missionary for these new cities, because they're going to need border expansions. Alright, you, forge, as usual, because it powers up our future whips. Wang Khan is welcome to build the Parthenon, because we may be able to take that away from him someday. So he does have marble. Well, it's on his island. I don't know if he actually has it connected to any of his cities. So can I get optics if I start running the slider now? No, I think I need one more turn of 0% science. Alright, so you over here, unload. I don't know if Saladin's boat got like trapped over here or what. He seems to have been having some difficulty with that. And we can load up the workers next turn, maybe? Alright, so you hop in there. Now I've got another archer. Oh. Oh, this is much bigger than I thought. I thought this was a tiny little island, but no, apparently it's a continent. Apparently there's a continent up here. Well, this will be where we'll be pushing next. If we can just get across this little, like the problem is this sea barrier right here. There's like, we can't just cross here. We have to go all the way down and around. But if we could get borders, like if we could get a city here, depends on what's up there obviously, but like, and then extend borders, I guess that still wouldn't touch, would it? New continent, yeah, it's exciting what's out here. Alright, that'll finish the lighthouse, in which case we should be working higher food. This is actually a really good production. You know what? This is a very good production city, because it's got enough food to work those hill tiles. It's a shame that this fish wasn't right here. If that fish were one tile over, this would be an amazing city. As it is, it's just a good city. Alright, not workshop fort. There we go. Alright, that city looking good. Is Pearl's Harbor ready to whip its forge? No. I think it will once a missionary pops out, though. It's like we've got this city working on a missionary as it grows. This city's going to end up working a fair bit of specialists, because it's going to run out of tiles to work pretty quickly. I guess I can... I think I actually will cottage some of the plains tiles here, which normally I don't do, but the city has enough excess food that it can work some of the plains tiles, and there's not much else for it to do. There's 2 other AIs. Yeah, there's 4 AIs, 5 total civs counting me on this map. Yeah, Clam Nation can just keep growing for the time being. And then I'll have to get a harbor to solve its health issues. This needs a library, too. Alright, so this isn't as bad as it could be. Poverty point, 9 turns to grow. Whips the lighthouse. Once the lighthouse is done, it can work the water tiles, and then it can slowly grow to size 4, whip a lighthouse. It's not ever going to be a good city, but it'll do what it can. Navajo will be a far, far superior city. Alrighty, there we go. So now we've got real food in this city. And I think the next thing is the forge, as usual. I'm impressed. So what's the break even? Wow. Our research rate is great. We're break even at 60%. That's excellent. And we're close to optics. So as soon as optics is done, I'm going to get some... I'm just going to get a bunch of caravels. I'll whip out a couple of them. Like Vicino de Mare can whip out a caravel. I'll probably build one from Clam Nation, because the timing will line up well. So like get 2 from there. I can whip one out from Suez, send it north. Like have 2 going from this direction. I can probably whip one from Plainsview and also get 2 Fish Too Furious to build one. Maybe even whip one out of this city just because it's up in the north. But like I want to get 4 or 5 caravels out exploring. Maybe even Sea Dragon Bay we can hit for a caravel. Although I think it would be better to hit this city, Sarate, for a caravel, and that's because it's further along in its development. Alrighty, next thing I think I need to do is mine this tile here, because I may want to run a high production configuration. So we've got, well, before that, we should attack this city. So, power of currency plus Great Lighthouse. Seriously. Alright, so the power of promotions. The Combat 1 guy gets 72% odds. But the the City Raider 2 guys get 87, which is still not a guarantee, but it's far better odds. Alright. Don't want to wait too long, because eventually the barbarians could get longbows. So odds are one of these will die. One of these Praetorians will die. Just based on the numbers. Hopefully they'll all survive, but... I'm expecting one of them to lose. Not this guy, though. Maximus won his battle. Maximus went down to 0.3 health. Then we'll have to find some other barb to kill, because they're at 9 out of 10 XP. I would like to unlock Heroic Epic. I don't think I want to leave one archer alive, though, for them to kill. We'll see. Maybe this guy will... lose. I hope he doesn't. I want to take the city, but we'll see. Looks like he won. Alright, yes, install a new governor. So I know we had a name queued up for this city too. I don't remember what that was. Where's the granary? Oh, it already has a granary! Wow, what a great city! Alright. Huh. Ooh, this is like corn and... This island seems to have all the resources I'm missing. Rice and corn and cows. Cinnamon. No, we had some kind of spice-related name. Spiceville. Those are both pretty good. Cinnamon and spice. How about cinnamon spice? Cinnamon has 2 ends, apparently. We'll go with a mixture of both. Cinnamon spice. All right, so you 1 archer in here. Hold on. Unload. Okay. So one of them is on the boat, one of them is not on the boat. Okay, that's what I wanted. No, I'm not declaring war there. Alright, and you guys will hop on board next turn and come on over here to improve the tiles. Yeah, this certainly looks like a place we want to grab, because we really, like, this is +4 health, these 2 resources. Health can be a little bit hard to find on these maps, but it depends on what's out here. Obviously, we have to explore first. So I think one of the galleys can take some Praetorians up there and just have them explore, like on land, just to find out what the heck is up there. The exploring part of the game is definitely fun. So yeah, we need to figure out what's up there. And what's over here too. But like we can zoom out on the globe. That's what we still need for circumnavigation. I'll turn off the resources for a second because we're zoomed out here. So Wang Khan is just stuck on this one continent. We've got our full continent, and now we've got this island. and we'll be looking to push in this direction. Obviously, we have this little small continent between us as well, but this is only so much of the map. I mean, we can see we've uncovered, what, like a third of the map, roughly? We're missing, like, this third and this third, something like that. Yeah, Korea's pretty boxed in. I don't see Korea having much of a chance for further expansion, and that's just what we want. Alright, you've almost finished this. Actually, I kind of like the idea of getting the 3-pop whip, honestly. So, because if I wait another turn, it's only going to be a 2-pop whip. I'll get the 3-pop whip with the big overflow, and then we'll put that into the harbor next. Alright, so yeah, things are looking pretty good. We're going to queue up for a lot of caravels and get to exploring what's out there. We're also going to need a settler for this spot over here. This is a good spot, it just needs to pop borders. It's going to take some time to set up, but it'll be good once that hits. If we can ever get the borders to expand, you know, if this city can get to 100 culture, we can put a port down here. I don't think it's worthwhile to plant the city just for a canal, though. I think we'll be okay. Maybe someday that city will have borders popped. Alright, barracks. Did we get a lot of overflow? No, we actually had 0 overflow there. Because what I want to do is get a caravel out of here next. But, just build wealth for a turn then. And you, similar idea. I want to get a caravel out of here too. Oh, I should have held off on that whip and whipped the caravel out of here. Oh well, it can take a double happiness. It can take a double whip penalty at this point. That's fine. We've got this big overflow. Well, that's fine. We'll overflow to the harbor and then switch to the... yeah, that's fine. Do you have a lot of overflow? Okay. You, I think, are naturally going to build that, so... Or, no. We'll, oh, I actually can't... I can't queue up another missionary. I already have... I've reached my, limit on missionaries right now. That's too bad. I wanted to queue up another missionary. And Wang Khan's built a great library. You know, Wang Khan's building quite a few wonders. This, we may need to go take them away from him someday. Because I would certainly not be opposed to getting some of those wonders for myself. Alright, you I want to take medic, because I want a medic unit to heal these other units. Because some of them were hurt pretty badly. Alright. Now you can head back. We got a pair of workers ready to go do their thing. Should get there right about when the city comes out of resistance. Alright. You know what you can do for me, Vercingetorix? You can whip a caravel as well next turn. So we'll get caravels out of Vercingetorix, Clan Nation, Vicino del Mare, Serete, Two Fish, Two Furious. And I think we might hit up this city, Monte Banana, too. This city is not in as good position. Yeah, because it doesn't have enough population right now. But Monte Banana does. A caravel's just a 2-pop whip. Yeah, that would get me... Maybe Pearl's Harbor, too. This doesn't have quite enough for the forge yet. Yeah, sure, why not? Just do the round of caravels. 1, 2... Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll get 6 or maybe 6 caravels next turn. And that should defog the map pretty quickly.
One doesn't discover new lands without losing sight of the shore.
So astronomy is also available. Now, astronomy kills the Colossus, but it does not kill the Great Lighthouse. Is there any tech that would benefit us more than astronomy? Like, think about it. Wouldn't that kind of be the best tech we could get to just not have to deal with all the ship logistics, not have to worry about the ocean? I mean, where else? What else do I need? It even has a useful economic building in the observatory, and obviously it's the galleons. But like, we don't have Stonehenge, we don't have the Colossus. Enables trade on ocean. I'm not really seeing anywhere else I would go that's more valuable than that. I mean, you could try to get it via liberalism, but that's a long way away. Like that's philosophy, paper, education. I kind of think that just grabbing astronomy is the way to go here. It's expensive, but like the benefits are really big on this map. Oh, and I was intending to stop working some of these tiles, but let's see. Let's do this so we can get a caravel out quickly. Can we get one in 2 turns, just out of curiosity? It's 37. I think we can get this in 2 turns. If we run the engineer specialist, yeah. Okay. We can probably drop the engineer specialist next turn. I just want to get this out quickly. Yeah, I think that, I mean, I don't think that there's anything better. I mean, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be like a 15-turn research, but I'm just not sure that anything else is as beneficial as that. Because, like, that allows us to, like, let's say we want to settle here. Well, we can slowly move a galley 2 tiles at a time up here, or we can just get astronomy and then we just jaunt across here 4 tiles at a time. Hopefully 5 tiles at a time if we can lock down circumnavigation. I think that benefits more than anything else we could potentially do on this water map. So I say we push towards that, and I'm the only one playing, so... Let's see, anyone up there? Just out of curiosity? Saladin has to be over there somewhere, and there are still 2 other AIs out there, somewhere in the fog. Alright, well let me finish moving my units for this turn, then we'll queue up a bunch of caravels, and then they'll whip next turn, and then pop out the turn after that. So if I move here, they lose their turn, so we'll clear this tile instead first. Alright, so the workers... just have them pop out. I guess technically I lose a little maintenance cost by doing this. And you need to come back here, because we think we're going to have some missionaries for you. Alright, healing. Well, 4 turns of healing even with a medic unit. That was a very injured unit. Better than dying, though. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we know where Saladin's homeland is, right? Because we can see on the map, we saw his borders here. So he's got to be off in this direction. He probably has an island up here somewhere. Probably. Alright. Do this. Caravel. We're going to whip this next turn for 2 pop. It'll increase the unhappiness, but you can see this city's not close to the happiness cap right now. And it'll wear off. Alright, Caravel there. You are going to whip me a Caravel for Cingetorix. Greatest city in the world for Cingetorix. Finally now we'll pop its borders. We might even want to, let's see, how about this city? This city I think is okay. Vicino has plenty of food. I'll whip the Vicino I wouldn't hit for the caravel, it's just that the position is great. It's like right on the western border, so it's a great city to get a caravel out of, because it can head over this direction very quickly. Although, if Clown Nation and Vercingetorix are both getting caravels, I don't think this city needs, never mind. Not as necessary because there's literally 2 cities right there. Let's see, the Suez and Sarate can both head, like Sarate can head more north, and maybe the one out of Suez heads more northwest. Then over here, 2 Fish, 2 Furious. There's no need to whip this because it's 3-turn build anyway, with that overflow. But Pearl's Harbor could do the forge, we'll get the caravel instead. Delays the development of this city, but which also needs a courthouse pretty badly. And Monte Banana, I think I want a caravel too. Even though this will also slow the development of the city, sometimes they just got to bite the bullet and do what's good for the rest of the empire. Because like this one, I just want to head northeast as quickly as possible to try and get circumnavigation. That's worth a lot on this map. Like head through there and just keep heading east, just like this ship. Let's play on for a little bit longer until we at least meet someone else on the map. Because next turn we're going to get all these caravels out. Oh, look, we got finally got a view of Wang Khan's research as well. Nice. Excuse me. All right, and then we also have at least one missionary coming out of the Sandlot in the near future. Only 4 turns away. Yeah, this city actually has decent production. Okay. So for right now, this boat can wait here. Oh, can we get across here? Yes, yes we can. New lands up there. All right, which spice do we connect first? This one, because this one is a 3-food tile as opposed to a 2-food tile. As for you, I'm probably going to take some of these Praetorians up north, but I might wait until I have galleons to do that. And I also want to get a city over here, although this may be lower in priority than what's up here, depending on what we find. Just depends on what's up there. Alright, so now's the big caravel whipping turn. Alright, you were... can I drive the city out of starvation here? Yes, yes I can. Okay. We'll drop some more of these tiles next turn, so the city goes back to growing. I just wanted that caravel to get done right away. The great turn of caravel whipping. And all across the empire, many slaves were encouraged to finish building these caravels as quickly as possible. It's like, you will build caravels. Caravels for everyone. This is, if you're a War of 1812, know anything about the War of 1812, it's like people are being impressed into the Navy to serve as sailors, whether they want to be your sailors or not. Oh, look at that. There's some more land over there. It's beyond ocean, but hopefully once the borders pop, that won't be an issue. Alrighty, so now... Oh, look at this. The capital's kind of out of things to build. I guess we could work on Chichen Itza, but Chichen Itza's kind of garbage, so... why don't you do a missionary for... Or no, is there a barracks... Hold on, let me go back to the capital. There is a barracks done here, so why don't you build a mace instead with that overflow? Why not? Get me another useful unit. I think that that's... Unless I can see a place to send a missionary. Or I could start building some catapults. Catapults are always useful. Maybe I just start building some catapults out of these cities. I want the city to finish up with its infrastructure, but maybe we just start stockpiling cats. Cats are always good. Alright, now you'll be back to growing. Although catapults are less useful on a water map because you can use frigates to remove city defenses. But frigates are a long way away. Like a long way away. Alright, anyway, you go back to your infrastructure. Watch all the caravel messages. I don't have construction, you're right. I don't have construction. It's true, I don't have construction. So I guess I can't build catapults. Well, alright, so we won't build catapults then. Not having the tech for it. So we're gonna need, let's see, 9 turns of minus 100. So we're gonna need around 1,000, right around 1,500 gold, something like that, before we can burn through astronomy. Okay. Let me just see if there's a place I can run a missionary to. So, yeah, I actually can use a missionary, because one's coming out of here, and then if I had Suez build a missionary, that would cover these 2 cities. We might do a settler wave soon, too, depending on what we find. Alright, you... go see what you can spot out there in the fog. Oh, uh-oh. Double galleys. I could try to run from them. That's probably the smarter call. Although I do have like 97% odds to win, and I'd get a second promotion if I won. Alright, we'll take them on. I'm not going to initiate combat. I'm going to defend. Alright, so you, I was going to head in this direction. This one heading more north. Alright, you are heading straight west as fast as you can go, just like Vercingetorix. We have to detour around Wang Khan's territory. You are heading off in this direction. At least the caravels can dodge barbarian galleys. Alright. So there's two ways I can do this. I could do the plantation simultaneously with the chop, but I think I'd rather do the chop first because the chop will finish the lighthouse. You can't heal? Is it true that ships can't? Well, I have a promotion. Do have the promotion. Alright, let's see. So this ship is ready to ferry units. I do have 2 Praetorians that are full health, so why don't we pop these guys on the boat and send them up north to take a look at this island. Then I have 2 more Praetorians afterwards. Maximus is healing. Oh, but if I do that, I'm taking the healing Praetorian out. Well, that's probably okay. I don't think we need those Praetorians anytime soon. Really wish I could get over there, but of course that's not a possibility. Alright, you are going to head east and find out what is over there to the right. Hey, we finally finished that tile. Nice. Now we have plus... I do want to work that. Oh, well, never mind. It's better to... We'll pick that up after growing. Plus 5 food per turn. Okay. As far as what other work... There's more work to be done up here in the north. So I'm going to head over in that direction. Help out with those workers up there. You can heal outside of borders in Civ4. You just heal slower outside of borders. You can even heal in enemy territory in Civ4. You just heal slowly. Alright, there we go. 17 production. Quite a nice city. Still needs more happiness. Still needs more, yeah, happiness resources in here. You know what? I'll slip, I think I'm going to slip one of these warriors over from the capital to Two Fish, Too Furious, because it could use the extra happiness via military police. Alright, well, let's see. Can we win the battle against the Barb galleys? Oh, did they not attack? Maybe it didn't happen yet. Yeah, I think I might as well build some more military in the meantime then. It's either that or build a settler, but I'd like the city to regrow a population point first. I might have it try to build a settler though. It's not like the settlers are expensive. We are going to need a settler for over here. Put it on wealth for 1 turn. And then we can decide what to do after that. So I don't need any more infrastructure over here. I think I've got enough caravels in the water. Let's go with the barracks for future units. So Wang Khan got the philosophy religion, apparently. Apparently the Barbs said no deal. We don't want to deal with that terrain. Oh, there's Saladin's borders. So this will be needed over there to the east at the new cities. Meanwhile, hopefully we won't run into a barbarian over there. Alright, you guys can chill here for right now. There's a lonely island up there. Very lonely. Alright, and you, I was going to have come over and help with, I think I was actually going to, I think I said I needed to cottage some of these tiles here. at this city because it was running out of tiles to work. So why don't you work on that? Come on down here, and you can cottage that tile. All right. Oh, did we finish the chop? Oh, okay, cool. Well, that'll get the lighthouse done. And then we have the 3 food water tile there, and hey, well, as soon as this is connected, we have more happiness too. Literal desert island, perhaps. We'll see. It looks like there's 2 tiles. There's more to the north here. A little bit more. Oh, now they're gonna attack. Okay. I was hoping I had moved beyond them. That's 1 victory. The first victory is like guaranteed. It's the second one that's more iffy. Alright, hey, we won them both. Nice. Alright, next up for cinnamon spice. Probably the forge, I think. Just a standard pattern that we're used to seeing here. We should be able to get religion in here pretty soon. Alright, so all the units are now full health. You know what? I'm going to have the Praetorians start walking north. Because I think that they're more likely to be needed to the north. It'll be a long journey, but they'll get up there eventually. Alright, so these 2 ships are just paralleling each other for now, but as soon as we get around the Cape Horn down here, then they'll be able to split up. Like the same way these are. Oh. We just met Portugal. Hey, an appropriate leader for this water map. Hey. Open borders. Might as well. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cities. He has met Saladin, he has not met Wang Khan yet. And so let's reallocate our espionage spending. We can see both. Let's just put all of our points on him for at least a little while. Not courthouse. Well, so the thing is, courthouse, if I was worried about the economy, so like forge is the long-term play because it powers up our future chops and whips. But since our economy is in good shape, like I'm break even at 60%, I don't feel the need to rush a courthouse. I would rush the courthouse if I was going broke, basically. 1, 2, 3. Alright. I can't get in the ship this turn. Actually, I can get... Hold on. 1, 2, 3. If I move the ship here, I can get both of these missionaries on the boat next turn, and then I can spread to both of these cities. So not surprisingly, there's not a lot down here in the Antarctic. I'll send this ship to the north in a minute. Okay, so we can heal this. I'm actually going to make this ship a medic ship because later on the medic is really handy to have. And I'm going to keep pushing east because I really am trying to lock down that circumnavigation. Because like I don't need too many more tiles. I only need this many more. So I'm hoping to get that unlocked in the near future. I can stop to heal after that. Now this guy sadly will not sign open borders with me, so I can't move through his territory. Not with I can with caravels though. Caravels, you do not need open borders to move through someone's territory. Looks like I have to go down and through this way if I'm going to get through, but I can defog these tiles while I go. So very exciting stuff here. Revealing the map is always one of the most fun parts of a Civ game. So this forge we can whip. I'll wait until the previous whip on happiness wears off. This city I just whipped. Pearl Harbor I just whipped. Two Fish, Too Furious. I don't even know what... I guess I'll build the aqueduct next just because. It's a low priority, but there's not a lot of other stuff I'm working on. This city can whip the harbor next turn, so gotta remember to do that. And Suez... just building wealth at the moment. Like, I don't really want to waste time on this. I'd like to build something more useful. Maybe I should get some more Praetorians, just because... Well, no. Let's let's build some. Let's work on building units here. The wealth is not really that helpful. It's only like 10 production. I'll just get out some maces. They're probably the best unit I can build right now. They'll upgrade to other good stuff. I would build like horse archers to upgrade to knights, but I don't have horses, so I can't build them. So, like, no, just work the better tiles here, Vicino. Train more workers. It's not a bad suggestion. Oh yeah, that's right. I was actually thinking of getting a settler out here. I was waiting for the city to grow, because I do want to get a city over here. Once we have astronomy, this is an easy city to plant, because it's a short distance across the water. I definitely want a presence in this area. Like, I need some kind of culture here, so I can keep eyes on this territory. This, we'll probably need a city here too, just because we want that resource. I'm hoping that these maces can drop off and help explore what's over here so I can find a good spot for a city. But we want that just for the health benefit, if nothing else. Similarly, we want this for the corn for the health. Yeah, settler at Suez. Thanks for reminding me of that. I don't think I'll found the city until I have astronomy, but I don't think astronomy is that far away. Like, in 5 turns to build and then walk over there and then probably upgrade like this galley to this galley to a galleon, to use the right term. And once astronomy's done, then I can build a round of observatories. Okay, I'll have you do the barracks right now, because why not? Maybe this isn't the worst place to do Forbidden Palace. No, we can build Forbidden Palace further away. This is still close enough that it's not that valuable. Squeeze out the aqueduct, just because. Alright, and where's the other caravel? Or, not other caravel. Here we go. So Wangkhan's getting scientists because he built the great, library. So I'm sure that's where some of these are coming from. Alright, let's see what we can find. Well, we found more barbarians. You're gonna have to go up this. Oh, look, it's another barb city. Ooh, a very well-defended barb city. I hope those galleys don't come running out to attack me. Size 6 with a barracks and granary, but it is on flat ground, so I think I know where these Praetorians might be headed. I think we can just send the Praetorians up there to take them, and then these Praetorians can head in that direction too. So, well, Portugal has copper. Trying to reveal what territory I can while also still pushing towards circumnavigation as quickly as possible. Alright. Boy, I haven't really been watching this city too much. I should be on top of it whipping. We should finish the forge. It actually should just whip the forge right now. No reason not to, because its whip penalty is worn off. Not a lot of other improvements for the city to build right now. I can chop this forest once the borders expand, but that's still a little ways off. I guess I can farm the plains tiles? I guess. Oops. So there doesn't appear to be much down here. Always nice to defog the tiles, though. Okay, so this island looks pretty bare. I don't think there's much. I guess we could always found a city here for the clams, but as I said, does not look that appealing, honestly. Just one clam resource. All right, there we go. Road this tile while you guys are here, and then cottage this. So I think I can start running building research on astronomy next turn. I'm curious who the last AI is. I want to meet the last AI, and I want to see if I can lock down circumnavigation. And if I can do that, that would be a good time to stop. Could maybe run up to turn 150 here. What a dry Portugal, yeah. Yeah, we don't have a trade route to him, so that's why we can't see what his trade stuff is. Because our only connection to him is over ocean right now. If we can defog more tiles over here, we might have a connection. So far, though, his cities don't seem that... Oh, we should check to see where he is on the tech tree. So he doesn't have Code of Laws. He has aesthetics, but he doesn't have drama. So he doesn't have currency or alphabet. He's not that far behind where we are, but he is behind. They're all behind. I could probably clean up some of these techs very cheaply, like Meditation and Priesthood, because I have the known tech bonus on them, now that I've met these AIs. Construction, they all know construction. That's probably the next tech to get after Astronomy, just because it's very cheap at this point. Well, here comes more barbs. I did not stop to heal this ship, unfortunately. No! Should have stopped to heal it, I guess. Got taken down by the barbarians. That's sad. Well, anyway. That means it's a little bit riskier for this Roman ship to come up here. And I want to use the caravel to keep exploring for the moment, so... We're gonna have to be careful. Oh, wait, I can't... Oh, wait, I can't cross over that? Oh. We really need astronomy, don't we? We really need astronomy. So what were the odds there at the end, just out of curiosity? Oh, my terrain was crippled in the first battle. The barbarian actually had 100% odds. I had only 66% odds in the first battle, and I took so much damage that the ship... the terrain was down to 13 HP, and then it rallied to get 4 hits and kill that barb galley, but sadly, after that it was crippled. And hey, Wang Kun does have marble now. He did settle a city there for the resource. Might be partly why he was able to build all these wonders. I wouldn't be surprised if Portugal's capital is right up there, because it's a very resource-heavy cluster. So we're getting close to circumnavigation now. All right, Poverty Port, yay, has finally hit size 2, which means, boop, is nice being organized, so we can get the 1-pop whip on the lighthouse. All right, I am not going to fight you. I'm just going to stay in the water, in the ocean here, where you can't touch me. A lot of barbarians around, it appears. But that's another resource connected to our trade network, our 4th one. And now this city has +4 food per turn. So one of the missionaries can go there. The other one will unload on this upcoming turn. And I think we have enough now to make a run at astronomy. Yeah, I think that should be just enough. Or very close. Yeah, the AI is not great at expanding onto islands. Also, let's cancel that. You guys can be doing more useful stuff. We did finally finish that fort, so we've got the connection through. Still got a galley over here. Do I even want to capture this city? I mean, it does have a resource I don't own, which would be nice to get. Yeah, the astronomy would be very, very nice to get galleons as opposed to galleys and be able to move over the ocean tiles. All right, I'm just looking in as far as whips. I think this city is ready to whip its harbor. Pearl's Harbor should be close to whipping its forge. Needs a little bit more time. Most of these cities are still regrowing after I horribly slaved them for caravels. That city needs another little bit longer. This forge should be good to go, though. Yep, there we go. Just working on the basic infrastructure. Why not build the fort to 1 tile south? I don't think it was in my borders. It has to be in your borders to construct it. So now that there's not much going on, we'll get the barracks, because someday we'll probably be drafting all these cities. So it makes sense to grab that while we can. No, we need the lighthouse first. Power up that and allow us to work the water tiles. Yay, Poverty Port. Now you can work on your granary. Gonna take a while to get that granary, but someday. Alright. By the way, we've made Wang Khan a lot of money by spreading his religion so much. We spread our religion to all these cities. Alright, time to connect this other resource. As those Praetorians slowly shuffle to the north. So forts, even if though you can build them in neutral territory, I don't think you can move through them with ships unless they're in your territory. I don't think so. We could have built it here though. That's true. I believe you can only move through them if they're in your territory. Alright. So we should be out of range of that galley to attack these very forlorn looking islands over here. So pig's another resource we don't own. Alright, so one of these can go in this direction. Oh, there's something over there. I see the shoreline of something. Any culture bleeding through? Just out of curiosity. Well, we'll check that out in a sec. Oh, look, there's another AI right there. Or is that Sal? No, that's Saladin's borders. Never mind. If you go to the this is often a useful way to look at the whole world map. The military advisor screen. Look at all our caravels out there on the corners of the map. That's a cool image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 caravels out on the waters exploring. Gonna have the whole map debugged in record time here. Very nice. Okay. Since you're just gonna whip in short order here. Yeah, this looks pretty good here. You still got to get that library. Okay, we got another border pop somewhere around here. Alright, so now you actually have enough food that you can keep growing. Although I guess this city's just about capped out on growth. Let's stop trying to grow the city for now. I'll do this and hand that tile over to the other city next door. Vicento. Just so it has another tile to grow onto. So at the moment, I'm just getting a road connection over here. It's not high priority or anything. Alright, there we go. So this way now I have religion in there so that when this next forest chop hits, it'll help the city. And I think this time, because I already have the resource connected, I'm going to do the chop plus plantation simultaneously. Well, there's a size 11 city. Oh, we found our last AI. It's Willem! We do have a lot of water-based AIs on this map. We have Portugal and the Dutch. Oh, he is small. What happened to you? What happened to this guy? He only has 4 cities. Did he get attacked by someone? Just out of curiosity. Worst enemy of Wang Khan? Doesn't look like it. Like, I'm trying to see if you have... I don't see any you have declared war on us. Willem just looks like he's had a terrible game for some reason. Huh. Well, let's try to get some visibility on his demos. That's all the AIs in this game. We actually can see research on everyone, but I'll run this for a couple turns on Willem and then even out the espionage again. I'm going to lose research on Wang... Actually, no, I'm not going to lose research on Wang Khan, am I? Helps being having those cheap courthouses. We'll have to get over there and explore. But almost to circumnavigation, almost. These guys are kind of like watching this. Alright, it looks like there's a route down to the south here. We're close. Very close now. Should get circumnavigation in a turn or two. Oh, look at that, the barb's still chasing me. Finding more of Saladin's territory. Hey, we would have contacted Willem this turn anyway. No, we're not attacking. Not yet, at least. AI Survivor would not be very interesting on this map. The AIs would not fight each other. They would just kind of sit back and you would just see the AIs build. That's it. You just watch them build for the whole time because they wouldn't be able to reach one another. I mean, it's one kind of... I mean, it would be one kind of a game, but I don't think it would be that interesting, honestly. I've run the AI Survivor setup on water maps, and they just generally don't work that great. There's a reason why I run them on the maps that I do. So this tile here, I think I'm going to save this for a lumber mill, because this would be a nice lumber mill someday. And I might workshop that tile or something, because I like Two Fish Too Furious having a lot of production. But like this tile right here, let's just cut it down and cottage the tile. Like, if the AIs can't really conquer each other, it doesn't make for a great game, at least in my opinion. Watching them sit back and just see who can research the best is... it's a type of competition, but I don't think it makes for a great spectator experience. At least that's the way I see it. Alright, no. Work this tile. Like, I don't need to prioritize... Actually, that doesn't even get the courthouse done a turn faster. I don't think Civ 5's Navy is a step forward. I think the game is just simplified. I don't really think the gameplay is better under the one unit per tile setup, but opinions can differ. The AI is really bad in Civ 6 at anything. They can't fight at all. I'm less familiar with Civ 5, but my recollection was they weren't very good in Civ 5 either. Arguably a lot worse than they are in this game. Alright, so 5 turns to astronomy. Let's grab a missionary to follow up for this city that we're planning on founding over there. And we're going to need a defender too. So why don't I get an archer as well? So like we're setting up for this next city. That's going to go down over here. Archer, settler, missionary. And I'm going to need a unit like over here. Yeah, probably like over here. Upgrade to a galleon, ferry them over, and then land. And then that galleon can also grab these units and be prepared to move them somewhere. So for right now, we'll take the ship and start moving in that direction. It's a little premature, but I didn't have anything I was really dying to build in the capital. What point? Well, basically, I'd like to have a technological advantage. Like right now, the best units I can attack with are Praetorians, which wouldn't be terrible, but I'd love to have more of an advantage, honestly. We'll see. I mean, let's explore the map, and once I have the map defogged, I'll be able to like think more about the situation. I think Wang Khan is definitely the one to go after, though. He is protective, which makes it a little trickier. It's like if he has longbows, I want a unit that's good at killing longbows. Like, I don't want to just suffer huge losses attacking into longbows, and I think he does have feudalism. I believe, yeah, he has feudalism right now, so it's really not a good time to attack him. What would be useful would be to get to something that just destroys longbows, and there's a couple of units that would do that. Obviously, if you can get to rifles, they, of course, annihilate them. But you can get to, but there's other units that work really well too. Like cannons would be fantastic as well. Cannons would just take down the city defenses and then collateral them and kill them very, very easily. We would also love to be able to get frigates because they're so strong on this map. And that's only at chemistry. Like frigates would also mean that we wouldn't really have to do too much in terms of bringing along siege units. The frigates would just take down the city defenses on their own. And then you just sail from city to city. So that is probably what I'm going to look to do long term. We'll focus the bottom part of the tree. We'll need to get nationalism so we can be in nationhood. But like you can draft like muskets, and if you have some frigates to take out all the city defenses quickly, and some like push for steel and chemistry, get cannons to use collateral damage, and frigates to take down the city defenses. And, you know, drafted muskets will work just fine to kill them. So that's probably the route I would want to head down. So we're going astronomy right now. Next up is probably going to be construction into engineering, and then probably try to hit the bottom of the tree. Something along those lines, I think, is the way to go. But I don't really, like I said, I don't really want to attack unless I can get an advantage. I don't see much point in just slamming units. Steel also gets you dry docks, that's true too. Ships of the line are worthwhile if the other player has frigates. If they do not, then they are not worth the time. It's a good question. Only worthwhile if the other side has frigates, because they're more expensive and they're not useful. Otherwise. Okay, so here's another little exploring trick. We can have one of these Praetorians just hop off the boat to reveal what's up there. Oh, and look at this. That actually helps us a lot, because there's a barbarian galley up there, and we do not want this unit to die. I want this to be upgraded into a galleon, so that actually was really helpful. Nice scouting. Okay. While these guys are here, I'm going to have them cottage that, or chop down the jungle on that tile. And then mine it. So we found Saladin's capital. Size 14, a lot of seafood. 3 different nations kind of mixing together right here. Looks like he built the Great Wall, based on what I can see there. And there we go, circumnavigation unlocked. Yeah, nice capital for Saladin. Certainly nicer than my capital. Alright. So that should give all our ships an extra movement point next turn. Just trying to see if there's anything I'm missing here. I think these cities are in pretty good shape. So there's the archer for the new city. Let's see. So if I built a galley, I don't want to build it until astronomy's done because I want it to auto upgrading queue. By the way, look at all the trade routes now we're getting. More trade route income over here. Nice. Let's see. So what do we build now? I guess we work on some units. Let's build some maces. We'll start loading up on some maces, and maybe if we've got units ready to go, maybe we look to once we have some siege units, maybe we look to hit Mine Khan. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If my cities run out of stuff to build, though, it's time to start building military, because it looks like a lot of them have run through their basic infrastructure now, and they've got production to spare. Vercingetorix expanded its borders. Oh, Vercingetorix. Well, now we have trade routes with everyone. Apparently we've defaulted trade routes to everyone else. And there we go. There's the big E, the circumnavigation bonus. Really, really important for galleys. It's too bad I couldn't unlock this sooner in the game. But this was as fast as we could get it. So I think we're just going to turn around and move in the opposite direction. I do not want to lose this unit, which can be upgraded into a galleon. All right, now that we've got circumnavigation, I can spend more time investigating. Oh, that's right, I have 4 movement now, not 5. I can spend more turns just checking out what's around all these cities, trying to defog as many tiles as possible. I think you guys are okay over here for the time being. Remember, galleons not just are much faster, they can carry more units too. Is it 4? I believe galleons carry 4 units. So you don't need as many of them. Just double checking because it's been a little while. 3. They carry 3 units. Okay. Transports carry 4. Oh, I already roaded that tile. Also, we should be cottaging that tile. Okay, so yeah, we're just getting in position, getting these units in position. Oh, that's right. I get the 3rd movement point now. Circumcision. Circumnavigation. Oh, actually, I could load this up next turn and get this already moving over to the eastern continent. I might as well. Alright. Mind that. I don't think I'll ever be settling this island. That is a sad island. Keep getting thrown off by that extra movement point the caravels have. Wouldn't be bad to have one of these caravels scout out Wang Khan. Actually, I should probably bring a missionary over here and scout out his interior. Because you can't load... No, I've got a galleon right here. Let's start doing this right now. Might as well start exploring the interior of Wang Khan's territory with that extra unit. So defogging more of these cities. Can't get to that spot. Right. Apparently, look at all these galleons. They all kind of converged in the same area since I was beelining for circumnavigation with all of them. All right, well, now I've got a lot of these, but the caravels are not terrible. They do upgrade to frigates later on. And remember, they can move through enemy territory without open borders, which is pretty useful to have as an ability. So good stuff. So we made it up to circumnavigation. We've got astronomy about to unlock. I think this is a good stopping point, you guys. I think this is a good stopping point. So we've finished settling our whole area. We took out all the barb cities in the immediate vicinity. We've got a lot of our basic infrastructure done. And next up, I do think it's time to maybe start thinking about hitting some of our neighbors. Wang Khan looks like the obvious first target because he's got our religion, he's close by. He's going to have protective longbows, which is not going to be fun. But maybe, we'll see. At the very least, we can get in a position to try and attack him. Because like from his territory, it's a logical jump next to Saladin's territory and then go from there. But like that seems like the logical jump is to head in this direction and go from there. So yeah, they're not galleons yet. They will be though. It's like it doesn't cost that much to upgrade a galley into a galleon. So we will pick this up next week. I hope you guys are having a good week. And oh, one thing I have to mention is this time of the year is super busy for me. I often have to end up working extra days, so if I am not around for some Fridays in October, I may have to be working. I will post in the Discord if that happens, but just like heads up in advance. We're heading into the busiest time of the year for my work, so I may not always be able to run the stream on Fridays, but if so, I will let people know. So once again, have a great weekend. See you guys soon. Until then, take care.